All right, y'all. What's up, man? It's Heknows and Tomross in the building. Tomross, what's up, bro? How you doing today, man?
Lovely, man. Tomross TV here to separate the weak from the strong. We got some good shit cooked up for y'all, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Man, let's get right into this shit, man. With Charlemagne, the God. This dude calls himself Charlemagne the God. I call him just Charlemagne, man. Ain't no fucking the God. This guy right here, man, always got something to say about Kanye West. Always. I mean, there's not a moment that Charlemagne the God is not just keeping his mouth shut. There's always something negative to say. The big thing with this guy, giving Charlemagne giving Kanye West the biggest donkey of the day. He says, "Say what?" Charlemagne hints that Kanye may have called him to complain about Pete Davidson's large penis. You told me what? You really mad about that? This is what we're talking about. See, this is the problem with
Hold
black
on,
fucking
hold on,
people,
hold on,
man.
hold on. Kanye could play to Charlemagne,
Yeah, that's what Charlemagne said.
so he's making up lies now.
Making up
So he's
fucking
saying,
lies.
so he's saying Kanye West called him and said, "Hey, man, this is murder shit. We need to talk
He
about."
hinted. Keyword hinted, Ross. He hinted.
Yeah, people. Charlemagne's a gatekeeper, man. So he'll do anything. But people don't know what gatekeepers are. It's not like boxing.
Mhm.
Gatekeepers in boxing are the guys who where if you could beat them, then you ready for bigger competition. No,
Exactly.
gatekeepers in Hollywood and in rap and entertainment are black people who they only allowed to go so far, and they pick and choose who they want to cancel and keep out, who they want to let
Hmm.
rock. Think about it. Snoop Dogg just got a rape case. Do you hear anything about it?
Nope.
Nope. You wanna know why? Snoop's a gatekeeper
Yep.
himself. Gatekeepers don't talk about gatekeepers.
Yep.
They don't talk about them. But Kanye's having an argument with his baby mother and his kids. Don't you hear about it every day? Yes, you do.
Yep.
They act like that's really news to report. One guy is accused of rape. You don't hear nothing about it.
Exactly.
The other guy's having frustration with his old lady. And it'd be one thing if you report it down the middle.
Hmm.
Every time you report, it's always slanted against Kanye West. Like it's becoming obvious at this point.
Yep.
And then you're you went so far as to say have the same narrative that the homosexual podcasters are having.
Exactly.
That's what they talk about because that's juice. That's what they call tea.
Yep.
They know half the shit is lies. They talk about lies all day. Whatever
Exactly.
makes them feel good, they just want to occasionally talk about men's dicks.
Yep.
This is an occasion. You know what I mean? But Charlemagne to be a straight man, like that's weird for me that he would do that.
Exactly.
Kanye, first of all, Kanye confided in you for what? What life advice can you give Kanye West?
Exactly.
But he predicted your life 10 years ago what you was gonna do.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
He said, "I'm gonna be a billionaire. And y'all still gonna be here."
Yep.
He said
And
it
that's
with a
exactly
smile.
what happened 10 years later.
He said it with a smile on his face. But he was serious. He
Hmm.
said Drake's gonna be the biggest rapper. He's still gonna be rapping.
Yep.
He's gonna be the big. Basically, he said Drake ain't gonna. He's not gonna be an exec. He's
Hmm.
not gonna progress past that. He's still gonna be the biggest rapper. I'm gonna be an exec, a mogul, fashion icon, and y'all still gonna be here.
And that's exactly what's going on with Drake. Isn't
That's
that
what
what
he
that
said.
is with Drake? Drake is a rapper, right?
Right. Drake's the biggest rapper right now. He ain't the best, but he's as far as what they consider, as far as what status quo says is hot charts and shit. Nobody's charting like Drake. We'll be remiss.
Because a lot of people are stuck. A lot of people are stuck on stupid, and they like. A lot of people are simple minded, and Drake has mastered the art of giving them music that appeals to their simple minded ways, right?
That's the reason why they had. I know, we're delving, but we're gonna get back. That's the reason why they had to get
Hmm.
rid of Nip because Nip said something profound. Nip said, Nip said, a failure is how you perceive it. He said,
Yep.
when I drop an album, I drop an album with the mindset of how they drop movies. When they drop
Yep.
movies, if they spend $3 million to make the movie, and they make $6 million, that's a $3 million surplus. That's a $3 million profit,
Exactly.
whether you go platinum or not.
Yep.
He said, that's how I look at it. Did I make money? What's the overhead? What's the under? The way they telling you to look at it is if you go platinum or not, but you might only be getting 5% of that money. You broke. You got a
Yep.
platinum plaque. That's it. But you only made $200,000-$300,000.
Facts.
So they had to get rid of that motherfucker, man. And Kanye already had that mindset. That's why Kanye said, you know what? For the foreseeable future, y'all got to come to my platform and get the music.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because my thing is, why is Charlemagne the God? Why are you hinting? It's like basically what media people do when they want to create a lie, right? They'll put a filter out there just to see how many people will run with it. And if you are a hater of Kanye West, you're actually going to sit there and be like, yeah, I want to hear the fucking tea. I want to take this tea. This tea makes sense. Why are you sitting here talking about a white man's fucking penis? Like,
as a
what
black
the
man,
fuck?
you right, man. You making so many points that you making me get in, but it's really your go. But you making me get
Hey, this is what, remember how we do it. It's back and forth. So
yeah,
if you got to interject, you fucking
yeah.
interject, motherfucker.
Because my thing is, let's say that was the truth. I still want to talk about that shit. Because I'm a man. I'll call you and be like, man, don't ever hit. I don't care what that bitch doing to you. Don't ever hit me up talking about. I'm mad because I think that nigga dick might be bigger than mine. Like, I don't want to hear that, man. Don't do that. But I would never go and then take that and speak about that in the public, even if that was true. Because I'm that much of a man.
Yep.
But me personally, I'm looking at that shit and I'm like, bro, I can't see Kanye confiding in this nigga about no who confides in a nigga named Charlemagne. Who would confide in you? You are a convicted. Well, he didn't convict of rape. He took a lesser charge. I think forcible entry or molestation or something. You are a convicted sexual offender.
Yep.
Who the fuck is confiding in you about women?
Exactly. Or anything that has to do with sexual relations.
Right. Right. You are off limits. You on record saying you rape your own wife all the time.
Yeah. That's Bill Clinton and shit. Anything that has to deal with sexual relations, though, who's confiding in your ass about that shit?
Right. So I find that hard to believe. I think he was pandering to that narrative.
Exactly.
That lipstick alley, homosexual vibe, feminist women vibe. Because feminist women always like to talk about niggas as gay.
Yep.
They supposedly support LGBT, but they use it as an insult to straight black men. It's all hypocritical.
Yeah. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's flamboyance. That's what the term used to always be. You see these motherfuckers, these gospel choir singers, the ones that lead the gospel, these are flamboyant looking motherfuckers in these churches, man. That's what we used to call the shit, flamboyance. Then it converted from flamboyance to metrosexual because they wanted to give it a supposed kind of masculine, firm tone to it. But the shit was still flamboyance. When Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook, all of these motherfuckers on the basketball court was wearing all this bullshit. Oh, look at these metrosexual men. What the fuck is metrosexual?
That's not metrosexual. They are trying to blur the lines. That was gay.
Exactly.
Them niggas had on tight ass pants.
Yeah.
That was gay.
Yeah.
Metrosexual would have been how Kanye was dressing in the late registration time. Very fitted clothes and very manicured. Hair always cut, hair always lined. Fingernails always manicured. This always perfect. That's metrosexual. It's not. They blur the lines to try to make something like no. Y'all niggas walk around with purses.
Yeah.
Y'all have purses, man. That's not metrosexual. That's feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said it that way. But to me, I still look at Kanye West and him dressing like that as
I'm just
just
going off the definition of it.
no, and I'm glad you're
Yeah.
going off the definition. I'm just giving my take on it. I feel
Yeah.
like that's how a man should be clean. That's what you described to me as a clean man. That's what you described to me.
Yeah, but back then, men either wore too tight clothes,
Yeah.
which signified there was, or they wore big ass gowns, big ass gown shirts, and big ass MC Hammer pants, jeans. So when he was doing that, just dressed like a man, you know what I mean? He might have had on like different colors because most men they're too homophobic to wear anything except for gray, black, or burgundy. He might have had on like a lapel or pastel or something like that, but it still wasn't no halter top, no tight ass pants where you see his butt cheeks.
It wasn't no little Uzi Vert. It wasn't no Young Thug type shit.
Nah, dumb niggas.
It wasn't no paint no fucking nails. It wasn't none of that bullshit.
Dumb niggas wear women clothes. They wear women clothes.
They do.
Because
he got on the Donda's album. What's his name? Con. That dude be blurring the fucking lines too, like a motherfucker, boy.
Yeah. They wear women clothes, man.
Yes.
But you gotta think about it. They have mothers to raise them like that.
Yeah.
People don't realize this, man. If we're gonna hold people accountable, let's hold everybody accountable.
Yep.
The black man's always being held accountable. Niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't good fathers. But okay. You was there. You was the mother. You was there. How did this happen? You didn't need a man to raise your son. Then explain why your son is a murderer, a cross-dresser, and he hate women.
Yep. It's because he had only you. He had you to raise them.
Psychology tell us what happens why they get that way. Because when white men do it, there's normally mommy issues because their mother terrorized them.
Yep.
And they take this out of other women. Typically, a woman who look like their mother.
Exactly.
Or whoever woman who hurt them. Like Ted Bundy, I think it was a woman who broke his heart. So he was, if a bitch look like that woman, he'll murder their ass.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you said that because as we're delving into this shit with Kanye and we're reading into it, it says elsewhere in his Donkey of the Day segment, Charlemagne the God took Kanye West to task for his repeated attacks on Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. His spat with comedian D.L. Hughley and his hypocrisy over calling people pawns for the Democratic Party while allegedly being used by Republicans himself. First and foremost, why would he be used by Republicans themselves? Isn't it a choice? When these people say that they are Democrats, aren't they supposedly saying it's a choice they're Democrats, or they got other people telling them you need to vote for Democrat? Right. If anybody's a slave, it's they ass.
It was done. And at the end of the day, what Kanye did, people understand what politics is. I realize what politics is because I remember I helped my friend run for a class president, and I was a nigga that made sure I was the reason why he won. He cared about that shit. I didn't. So how you do it is, first of all, you tell people what they want to hear. You make some promises you can. You can make happen. You make some promises you can't. But you make promises are built around the people who you trying to get on your team. Me personally, I wasn't going to everybody saying vote for him, vote for him, vote for him. I only went to the popular people. Why? Because they're the only ones that matter. Yeah. They're the only ones that matter, man. And in the world, the popular people is who? They're the celebrities. Yeah. They're the celebrities. So that's who the Democrats go to. And they mad at Kanye because Kanye was like, I'm not voting for him. They're like, no, you supposed to do this, man. Like, bro, you one of the popular kids, you're supposed to do this. Now, the Republicans, they don't really go to the popular kids. The Republicans go to the rich people. Yep. To the other people who matter. The Republicans go they basically go to the teacher staff. You know what I mean? And then the teacher staff rigs some shit, blase, blase. So, but none of these people really go to the general populace. Yep. Now, what they do is This is how they get the general populace that's not undecided. Then they start promising you shit they can't do, but they got to figure out what you want first, right? So I said all that. I say all that to say this: when it comes down to Kanye West, it's called politics, man. Sometimes I had to go to people dude didn't like. Like, nah, don't go to them, man. I don't like them. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna win if I don't go to them.
Yep.
Why? Because dude, one of the most popular people in the school. Got to go to him, man, and convince him.
Yep.
So Kanye wanted to be a part of the. If he wanted to be part of the prison reform, he ain't had an audience with Joe Biden. Joe Biden turned him down and talked to Cardi B. So he went to Trump, and he came in there looking like a Trump supporter. Trump listened to him. Kanye West coming there and he don't wear that hat. He's not getting listened to, man. He played politics, man. Politics is whatever you gotta do to convince the person to donate to you, whatever. These politicians be kissing people ass they don't even like.
Facts.
For the donations, it's politics, bro. Facts. He in there, he playing a role. But just how you know people just focus on what they want to focus on. They said a picture does what?
A picture speaks 1,000 words.
Speaks 1,000 words. So how the fuck you sitting here looking at a picture of Kanye West with that hat, but you missed the Free Larry Hoover shirt he was wearing?
Facts.
That's a conscious decision to say, I'm gonna avoid this shit right here because this is some real shit. And no other rapper in the history of rap ever did this. Facts. I'm gonna avoid all this shit, and I'm gonna focus on this because that's a lightning rod. And I don't like Kanye West anyway, so I can use this for a reason to talk down on him. Nobody is talking about the elephant in the room. He parlayed that Republican shit to get in and to talk prison reform. Now he got a lot of people off. He just ain't getting Larry Hoover off. But none of those people get off. Period. If he don't get in that room, it's politics. Exactly.
He finessed the situation, and in life, when you're trying to get from point A to point B, you know, there's a Haitian proverb that says, "Boucher nel bouet de l'eau senti." What it means is, you know, and basically, hold your breath and drink dirty fucking water. And the reason why that proverb is prevalent is because to get from point A to point B, there's an in between to get to that point from the A to the B. And a lot of times when you're like us and you come from impoverished environments where you don't have what Donald Trump had spoon fed to him as soon as he came out the cradle, you got to do that, man. You're going to have to drink that dirty water, man. You're going to have to cover your nose, and you're going to have to do some shit that, honestly, if you were moving in a natural form, you probably wouldn't have done in the first place. You probably wouldn't have went that route. You would have went another route because everything would have already been in position for you. But because things are not in position for you, you go a alternate route to get to the position that you're trying to get to. And that's what he did. That position made sense to put on the MAGA hat because guess what? It was polarizing. He was an enigma for it, but everything that he was saying while he was doing that were shit that made sense because he was calling out the motherfuckers that was hanging out with Donald Trump too. These people act like they didn't know Donald Trump beforehand. Hillary Clinton, all these motherfuckers was hanging out with Donald Trump. Like he was a celebrity and all of that before he actually decided to go and become a president of the United States. Let's just be honest. A race for presidency. They were all hanging out with this motherfucker. They were cool with this motherfucker. They were taking money from this motherfucker. They were doing business with this motherfucker. And then when he goes on the other side, oh yeah, he's the enemy. So Kanye is like, let's not be fake here. I'm still cool with him. So while y'all sitting here being on this side of the aisle, acting up, I'm going to jump on this side right here and still be cool with him and get what I can get out of it so that I can position myself. And it worked because guess what? He became a household name.
Yep.
He became a household name from that shit.
Yep. The thing about it, people need to realize is the way they see the world and how the world actually works It's two different things altogether, man.
Yep.
And I think a lot of black men suffer because they never seen a black man wake up in the morning. A lot of times they wake up so early, they cook for themselves because they're not going to wake your mother up. Go in the kitchen, make himself some breakfast. Early as fuck. Go in there, wash his face, take a shower, put on his uniform.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And go to work. But then, as the day's gone, you can see he's getting tired. He's tired of putting on that uniform, man.
Yep.
He's tired of doing this shit. Come home every day. Never complain. Never say, I'm tired of working. Never blame you for the reason why he got to be a man.
Exactly.
Never gaslight you. Never say, oh, I carried you 18. I carried you for, I was 11, 18. Trying to give you a guilt trip because they got fucked and got pregnant.
Exactly.
Men, you're here now. It's my job to take care of you till you're 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do. I owe you an obligation.
Yep.
And they do it. You didn't see that. So you don't understand sacrifice.
Yep.
You don't understand hard work.
Exactly.
You don't understand dealing with your enemy to do something bigger.
Yep.
There's a lot of niggas who be on these platforms. They don't even have their first job yet. Like, you hustle. Once you try strapping on some boots and going to work every day and dealing with motherfuckers who you rather not deal with, they're doing it for your family.
Exactly.
Once you understand that, you can understand the process, the difference between a nigga like Kanye who actually parlay something that niggas didn't understand into something that helped the black community, and a nigga like Charlemagne that just be talking.
Yep.
Charlemagne just be talking, man. These niggas just be talking. The Breakfast Club niggas just be talking. Joe Budden and them niggas just be talking.
Yep.
They ain't in no rooms with no politicians changing laws.
Yep.
Kanye West was changing laws, man. Getting niggas out of jail, getting niggas lighter sentences, getting people off who've been there for years, getting niggas off of death row.
Yep.
That's gonna go to show you just how brainwashed we are. Niggas disregarding all that over a hat.
Yep.
You shouldn't wear the hat. You shouldn't wear the hat. Hey, bro, you disregarded everything he doing over a hat.
Exactly.
And and I don't even know if he meant to do this. But the fact it sometimes when you're a genius, it don't always go down to what you plan to do. Sometimes the shit you just do just be genius.
You just did it, and then it comes across as if what you did was genius.
In his movements,
yep.
He exposed how black people think.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a fuck about what you do.
Yep.
They care about if it's something they would do.
Yep.
They care about if what you do is accepted. They don't care about the good you do if it's not accepted. So put it this way. If you are feeding families every day, but you wear clothes that's not name brand, they don't care.
Exactly.
They'll focus on your clothes. They don't care. They focus on you're fat.
Yep.
They focus on, oh, your hair's nappy. You dark skinned. You too light.
Yep.
You have some white stuff right here. He got some white stuff on his lip right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on everything except for the shit that matters. Oh, he got a red hat on. Hey, bro, you missed the meat. You missed the whole fucking picture, the whole forest. The focus on a bush, on a little tree.
Yep.
You missed the whole forest.
Facts.
It's brainwashing. You have to force yourself to do that. And always looking for something to laugh about. Everything is not fucking funny. You do that to laugh or crying because you don't want to deal with the reality of the situation. Is that any day a police can ride up to you and kill you because you don't have no power.
Exactly.
Any day you could just get thrown in jail and go to jail for the rest of your life because
Yep.
you don't want to focus on none of this shit. So you're always looking for something to laugh about.
Yep.
Always looking for something to deflect. Always looking for something to critique. Anything to keep you from thinking about the reality of life is that we don't unify. We're never going to have any power. If we can't
Exactly.
unify, if we're uplifting King Von and Lil Durk, but attacking niggas like Kanye. So Kanye's
Yeah.
crazy, but Lil Durk and King Von, niggas who talked about killing their own people, literally, that's sane.
Yep.
That's normal.
Yep.
How do we how do we evolve as a people if every time somebody becomes something worth fighting for, we tear them down just because we can't relate to that?
Exactly. Great point. And here's the thing. Kim Kardashian was feeling some type of way because Kim Kardashian said Kanye West told me my career is over. I can see Kanye saying some shit like that to her. She said Kim Kardashian and Kanye West divorce may be uglier than fans already thought. And then it goes here. It said, it's been really hard with Kanye. Kim narrates. You know, she has to exaggerate that shit, right? Before the trailer cuts on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim says, I don't think I would ever criticize the father of my children on my TV show. Bullshit. She's done that plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
She said in a variety interview. That's just not really what I'm about. I just don't think I would have ever that would ever make me feel good. She added, being in the public eye and having disagreements publicly is never easy, but I do believe in handling it all privately. If you did, then first of all, you wouldn't have had Kanye West on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and you wouldn't have been exploiting him those years in Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Let's just be honest here. And then she ends up going on and saying, um, but I do believe in handling it all privately. I believe in championing publicly and criticizing privately. And then here's where she goes here. She says, hey, everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop. This is Kanye. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I never said again, he began. I am her father, and I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family. But I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be on Disney. I have a say so. While Kim didn't respond to her ex's latest tirade, her boyfriend Pete Davidson came out to her defense and said, well, I don't know what Kanye's talking about. He's here. He comes and picks up the kids. He's involved. I'm not trying to be involved with the kids. Kim Kardashian turns around and says, Kanye West tells me my career is officially over. What's your take on this, man?
He could have said that, or she could just know that it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening already.
Mm-hmm.
So either or. I mean, it's the truth. For me personally, the reason why he's going public because going private don't work, bitch. You keep doing it.
Yep.
So that's why he's going public. Because you obviously not listening.
Exactly.
You keep having her on TikTok with makeup on.
Yep.
And they keep saying don't do it. So obviously going public don't work. The only reason why you don't like going public because she's a narcissist. The only thing a narcissist cares about is their image.
Is their image. Yep.
The only thing a narcissist care about is their image. You can know a narcissist's mother or dad by the end of the day. It's
Yep.
because when you talk about the child, they're gonna reframe it back to them
Exactly.
because they don't care about the child. They care about how they're perceived.
Facts.
Like what you're doing is making me look bad.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say how you doing, why are you doing this? Let's get down to it. Is you need to stop doing that because you're making me look bad.
Yep.
That's all she care about is the fact that she doesn't look like the Kim that she was being perceived as when she was in a relationship with Kanye. Kanye actually succeeded. You know how they say you can't turn a so-called hoe. People who be saying this, all they fuck all their life was hoes, but you so-called can't turn a hoe to a housewife. But Kanye sure the hell did had her solidified and respected as a housewife. People had, even though we know how she got on, that people stopped talking about that shit. She became a lawyer, damn near a lawyer, a billionaire, or her own little fashion, blase, whatever the fuck she do, her makeup shit. He solidified her. Now that he's not with her, no one thing about it is this. Now that he's not with her, now people get, she's no longer Kanye West's wife no more. She don't realize it was a lot of respect that came with that. Now she just somebody Ray J fuck. Sadly, now because that's how people do. If you lose the status you was, people go back to your default.
Yep.
So let's say you got a good job.
You mean you go back to your default status?
Right, your default. So let's say you get a good job. You lose that good job. Niggas motherfuckers don't go back to right before you got the good job. You got your life together. Niggas go back to when you was a dolphin.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, man, nigga had a good job and lost it, man, on that dolphin shit.
Yep.
That's what niggas do. They simple like that. They simple like that. So yeah, man. So yeah, in a way, it might not be over because all the white people supporting her, but that overall overwhelming support, that shit coming to a cease, man. The only black people still holding on to Kim Kardashian is the gay black man and the feminist black woman.
Yep.
The regular black woman been jumped off that shit because they never wanted to fuck with her to begin with.
Exactly.
They just fuck with her because of Kanye.
Yep.
So a lot of black people, they like, yes. They're like, yes, man. I'm glad that shit over, man.
Because guess what? Now, I believe his relationship being over with her takes a blow on the Kardashian brand, period. Because to me, I honestly thought they were gonna do 15 minutes of fame, and that was it, man. These motherfuckers have extended a 3-hour movie right now, though. How the fuck? They on a 3-hour movie right now. They on an Avengers project, though. It's like they've turned around and turned this bitch into Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But right now it's the end game right now. Because you feel like the end is coming. You feel like the end is near. That's how you feel.
The end is the end. It's the end. They divorced. It's over with.
Because Chloe, you could see the implosion because of this is when you knew they were at their height. They were at their height when all of these black men, right, were fawning. And when I say black men, I'm talking about these crippled ass.
I got attacked today by black niggas. Like,
yeah,
like, I got attacked. They're like, you just hating on them because they thick as fuck. Like one nigga said, I had to delete the comment. He said, man, you can't. He said you can't front like you want to sit back jacking off to the Kardashians. Like, bro, I didn't watch the Kardashians, bro.
I never did.
And who the fuck gonna watch a show like that and jack off, bro?
And
like,
you even better than me because the other day you said you finally watched one episode, and I honestly believe you watched that episode because maybe it had something to do with Kanye on it, right?
Whatever one where Kanye and her were talking.
You see, I knew it. It had something to do with Kanye on that. Because I know your ass wouldn't sit there and watch no damn Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
And North kept calling out Kim Kardashian on her lying and shit.
Yeah.
So I was only watching that.
So you watch that shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, to my credit, I have not watched not one fucking episode.
But thing is, I was watching that to capture some footage for a short.
Nah, I knew why you did it. You did it for a specific reason that had to do with your channel. But I can tell you, I can put my hand up and swear on that shit, man. I haven't watched a lick of a fucking episode, man. Because to me, there was a time where I looked at reality TV as what the fuck it was, reality TV. There was no difference between, to me. I can't speak to anybody else. But there was no difference between Kim Kardashian and Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
I didn't see no difference between that shit.
Right.
I thought it was all the same bullshit.
Why do you think I made a community post? Which one was you trying to do? Everybody said the Kardashians are trashes before.
Yeah.
That's why I have all these black men be like you hate them, you mad because they think it's fucking. You be like, bro, what?
Yeah, I'm guilty of watching Flavor of Love, but I'd rather watch a Flavor of Love all day, every day, than watch some damn Kardashians
You know, I was
bullshit,
watching
man.
Flavor of Love because it was one nigga and it was all the business. That's what I was watching it for, man.
Exactly.
And some of them bitches was bad.
Yeah, they were. They were.
That's the only
He
reason
had
I was.
Hoops. And what was the other one? The one that had the I forgot her name. She kind of was tossed around with rappers and shit for a while. I forgot her, and then she kind of just
London something.
yeah, and her ass just tapered off. You know, I don't know where the fuck she at right now. But anyways, um, this is the thing. Like, there was a time where reality TV existed, and we thought reality TV wasn't gonna go nowhere, and that phase lasted longer than 15 minutes. Shit, Nicki Minaj's rap career lasted longer than 15 minutes. There was a lot of people I said, oh, they ain't gonna make it past 15 minutes. Cardi B, I said the same with her. There are a lot of motherfuckers, man. You'd be surprised. I said that about a lot of motherfuckers when they came out. I was like, oh, this is a 15-minute motherfucker. And they lasted past 15 minutes. They all shocked me, man. And you know why they all shocked me and why they all made past 15, Ross? Is because it had nothing to do with them. It had to do with the fact that that generation was so dumb the fuck down and so stupid.
They came out at the right time.
Exactly.
They
Could
came
you
out.
imagine them coming out around our time where there was standards and motherfuckers had to actually have abilities and skills and they actually had to have talent?
Well, I'm gonna say this: Nicki Minaj actually could rap,
She can,
but
but in our time growing up, you think she would have lasted past 15 minutes?
I don't know. I ain't gonna say she wouldn't. She actually could rap. She probably would have got. She probably would have been better because she has dumbed herself down to relate to young people. How come there's a echo? There's never an echo.
Well, I don't know.
Do you have you have YouTube on the background? It's never an echo. But anyway,
Nah, I don't got YouTube in the background. I don't got shit on the background.
yeah. She has dumbed herself all the way down, man. Because you can just tell. Just listen to her first album. Listen to her verse with Kanye. She was spitting bars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she dumbed herself down to compete with these young people and shit.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, she had a moment. I mean, she had a mixtape
Yeah.
career. I mean, she was big on MySpace when MySpace was MySpace. You know what I'm saying? She was big on that shit before MySpace kind of got swallowed up, and then it became Facebook and all that shit. So yeah, she definitely put herself out there. But I still think she would have been a one-hit wonder, man. I still think she would have been a 15-minute because there were a lot of people that were talented in those 90s, man. In those 2000s, they had that one hit and then they were gone after that. There wasn't no continuum of their careers. And these were people that were hellified talented. They had that little moment and then they were gone because what is her story of what she's come out with as an artist now? What is her story if as it relates to anything significant? Let's just say she was doing the same shit she was doing, talking about other bitches and her basically being more relevant than them. Like, how does that appeal to anything at that time?
The reason why I still think she will still have a lane is because, let's be honest, the female rappers weren't respected, man. If they weren't showing their ass and their pussy and shit, like niggas was only Lauryn Hill was respected without doing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. At a high level, there was some other ones, but at a high level, or Lauryn Hill was. Foxy Brown had to be damn near naked and talk about stupid shit. Like Lil Kim had to talk about sucking dick every song.
that's
you know
true.
what I mean? So yeah. Will she be as successful as she was when she came out? Probably not, but she could have made a name for herself.
Okay, you make a fair point with that. What
Yeah.
about Cardi B?
Now, if she would have came out in 1996, in 95, 96 with Lauryn Hill and shit, she would have took an L. Everybody, all the women was taking the L's when Lauryn Hill was rapping.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of her completely.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of her completely.
Yeah.
Then that made room for people don't realize that made room for Lil Kim and for Foxy.
Lauryn Hill's album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that shit hit the billboards for 4 years straight. That shit started dying down in the year 2000, man.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was 4 years straight. It was eating the charts up for 4 years straight.
4 years fucking straight, yo.
Straight.
Classic.
Before it started tapering down.
And every song had a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
A meaning that, like, a woman, like, this a woman talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So they had to get rid of Lauryn Hill now because she had mastered how to say shit that was deep in a way to where it was marketable.
Yeah. Honestly, Lauryn Hill, because of her rapping and singing ability, she gave birth to Alicia Keys of the world. Even though Alicia Keys can't rap, she gave birth to those types of individuals too, because of the fact that she was a writer, singer, a rager, composer. That was never heard of before.
Right. She gave Alicia Keys a platform to where Alicia Keys didn't have to talk about getting her pussy ate, and she could just talk about. She could just be the singing version of Lauryn Hill.
Yep.
She could just be that side and just talk about real issues.
Exactly.
If it wasn't for Lauryn Hill, there would be no Alicia Keys.
Nah, there wouldn't be.
Not because she's not talented. It's just because, and that's the thing. Other people understand. All because you're a one-hit wonder don't mean you're not talented. Sometimes you're a one-hit wonder because you too talented.
Yep.
And they can't market this shit.
Yeah. You know because you can't make another hit that damn good.
Right. And they can't market you because you're talking about things that it's not selling because the vast public don't really want to hear it. It's kind of like common sense. Got a lot of skills, but this is topics that he chooses to rap about, and the way he chooses to do it is too old school.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you one. There's two one-hit wonder songs. If you jam them shits anywhere you go, them shits, I don't care. They don't age, man. The two one-hit wonder songs I know they don't age. One of them is, everybody in the club get drunk. Everybody in the club get tipsy. Yeah. Everybody in the club You hear that shit? It's a one-hit wonder, right? But when you hear that shit and you in the moment, that shit be knocking, right? Yep. And then the Silent Toe song, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. You hear that shit, you in the club, that shit be knocking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you another one. When old buddy, oh big girl, won't you back it up? Yeah, won't you back it up?
I don't even know who the fuck he is.
That shit was, hey, you can tell me every time you hear that song, that shit don't be wilding out, though.
Yeah. I don't even know who dude is.
I don't even know who dude is, but you know that fucking song, right? Yeah. You know, if you see a big girl in the club, you're like, hey, big girl, won't you back it up? Yeah. That's the thing. These one-hit wonders, they just have that effect, man.
James Dash said Juvenile, man. Juvenile wasn't no one-hit wonder.
No, Juvenile wasn't no one-hit wonder, James Dash. This is
you talking about, man.
Juvenile back that ass up, man. I'm talking about that song that say, hey, big girl, won't you back that up? Won't you back your ass up?
He don't even say he said back it up.
Yeah, back it up. There you go. Yeah. I forgot the name of that motherfucker, but that motherfucker, he had a weird look to him. What's his name?
No, I don't know his name.
Oh,
the name of the song is Wobble It.
Yeah, Wobble It. There you go. Wobble. What did you say? Nah, not back that thing up, though. Wobble, man. That was the song. That was the one-hit wonder song, man. You hear that shit in the club, you drinking, and you know you somebody wobbling you the fuck up. That's it. But the point that we're making is one-hit wonders make songs that are timeless, man. They make songs that just it make you think for a second. I'm gonna tell you another guy. He actually was a 3-time one-hit wonder. This artist had one. I call him the 4-time one-hit wonder.
You You can't be a 3-time one hit wonder. At that point, you make hits.
All right.
Yeah.
The motherfucker with the crooked eye. What's his name with the crooked eye? He had that crooked eye, like somebody shot him in the eye or some shit.
What's the song?
Shit, it's not coming to me right now, but
nigga had a crooked eye.
I think his name is Fendi or some shit like that.
Fendi. Oh, you talking about Fetty Wap?
Fetty Wap, there you go. Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap had a run. He had a run of his.
Yeah.
He had a run of his. Now he wasn't the one hit wonder. He fell off, but he wasn't. Think about it. It's like this: if you want to have a solidified career, you could do it one or two ways. You could make one good album and keep making that album over with.
Yeah.
Like you could be like Drake and like Lil Wayne and T.I. keep making the same album over and over again. Yeah. Or you could be like Jay and Kanye West and kind of expand and kind of give somebody something different. You know what I mean? To grow with. You know what I'm saying? But either way, you have to find your niche, and you got to. Fetty Wap, when he was doing it, he kept trying to make hits.
Yeah.
Every song can't be a hit, and then even when you got an album of all hits, it's treated like that. It's not treated like the full body of work. Like you know how many people, and I'm talking about a lot that would tell you. I'm talking about a lot because I'm a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And in Chicago, being a church musician, it's big. You like a mini celebrity. I'm a drummer, and there's a lot of people who say this. They'll say Michael Jackson made the bigger hits, made the bigger impact, but they'll say all day when you talk about the whole album, the writing and everything, they'll say Prince made the better albums.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And I'm glad you mentioned Prince because when we talked about writers. I'm glad you threw Prince in there.
Prince, a motherfucker.
When we talk about writers,
yeah,
baby, won't you come my way? Yeah, I remember that fucking song. My favorite song from Fetty Wap, outside of "Baby, Won't You Come My Way," was "Trap Queen." Dog, I love Trap Queen, dog. See, Ross, you can tell me and Ross are blood brothers, dog. That Trap Queen, because that shit was good.
Man, I just touched down in Washington State when that shit came out. Man, no white bitch was going crazy.
Hey, said, she my trap queen. That shit be knocking up.
They don't know what the fuck Fetty Wap talking about.
Yeah,
they ain't shaking their ass. But
that trap queen was knocking though, man. That shit was knocking.
Yeah, man.
And the reason why I love that first record is because you could tell it was low fucking budget, man. But the beat was knocking, the rhymes was knocking. That's when you know you got a hit. Everything is perfect. And the motherfucker was saying shit. If you know what he's talking about, whether if it was in your previous profession or whether if it's a motherfucker like me every day that knows a motherfucker like that talking about, you know everything that he's saying. So you can attribute everything that he's saying to the lyrics, the song, and all of that. That's when you know you got a hit. But going back to this point of what we're talking about, we talked about greatest writers, right? You talked about Smokey Robinson in the 60s. I mean, shit, he's arguably one of the greatest writers ever, right? We talked about Tupac Shakur, arguably one of the greatest writers ever. Mm-hmm. And I ain't mad at you as having him number one. Because they used to talk about
number one.
Yeah. Okay, let me preference that. Let me correct that in rap. Because they used to talk about Kobe. They used to talk about Pac. Pac's writing ability was like the way Kobe Bryant's work ethic was in basketball. Pac will be sitting here, go to the gun range, and then he's back at the studio, and he got a whole book written the fuck up. Pac will go somewhere else, and he always got a notepad. They always got to give him a notepad because he always got something ready to write. That's his thing. He got to always put shit down on pen and put it on paper. That's why this motherfucker has so much music after he died, so much music after the fact that they were able to play. Because this motherfucker wrote so fucking much. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was just that much of a fucking writer. And you being a writer, you could appreciate somebody that's like that. The motherfucker just wrote all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote all the fucking time.
That's why I can't wait to retire, because you could do that when that's your profession, man.
Mm-hmm.
You have to dedicate. You have time. You have to dedicate to other people, bro. It take you out of your creative mindset.
Facts.
It really do.
Facts.
So that's why I'll be glad I'm gonna be retired here soon, so I can focus more on my craft
Yep.
because I can fine tune it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because yeah, man, there's times I got a lot of shit in my head. I got a whole book, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't. But after you done gave time to other people, then you gotta fuck around with your platform to make sure you have something to promote
Yep.
your book on.
Yep.
Your creative juices are spent because you some of that time you dedicated to them, you need for yourself, man.
Exactly.
So people need to understand the key is to be your own boss. It's not to be punching the clock all the rest of your life for somebody.
Yep.
It's not, bro.
And this is what they did. They took Michael Jackson and they pinned him. And this is what they love to do with black men. You know how many years we could have seen, and it was missed of us, that Michael Jackson and Prince could have given us together if they worked together. You know how much great music they could have gave us if they decided to do an album together. You understand how lethal that shit would have fucking been? But they
Mm-hmm.
had to pin them together. They had to pin them one against the other. They had to basically put in the media who's the better artist, who's the better writer, who's the better creative thinker. And when you think about it, they both were arguably two of the greatest creative thinkers we could ever think of musically. They just had different ways on how they went about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Prince was more detail oriented. You could see that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
because Prince was actually a musician as well.
exactly.
I feel like Michael Jackson was a better performer,
Yeah.
and I feel like Prince was better all overall musician because he actually was like drummer. He act
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I mean. He's better with the music, but
Mm-hmm.
he can't perform it like like how Michael Jackson could perform. I feel like the greatest thing we could have ever got was a song written and composed by Prince and performed by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That would have been the greatest thing you would have ever saw.
Yep.
Because you would have saw perfection,
Yep.
like
That's what you would have saw.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah. That's what you would have saw.
yeah.
You would have saw that. And the beauty of it is Michael Jackson, like what you get with Kanye now, you put Michael Jackson in front of a Pro Tunes, it's over. Michael Jackson can produce the fuck out of shit. You put Michael Jackson in the studio, something great is coming out of that shit.
Oh yeah.
Because Michael Jackson was just notorious for that. And he had a keen eye and a keen ear for great music. They said he made the Butterfly song. You know, the Butterfly song is so heavily underrated, man. He made that song in just a matter of hours. That
Man,
song,
that,
that
that,
song is so underrated, man. It's so
that shit
fucking
was
underrated.
underrated because that shit had a nigga like me cuddling. I don't cuddle with bitches, man.
Yeah,
They have me cuddling with bitches and whisper sweet nothings in their ear and shit.
exactly.
I don't do that shit, man. I be trying to get to the pussy.
Yeah.
I started getting girlfriends and shit, and like, you know what I mean, and put on that Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like that shit
I
was
mean, Michael
fire.
Jackson was just, he had a ear for music. And when he didn't have the ear, he brought in the perfectionists that had ears. He brought in the R. Kellys, you know, of the world. He brought in these types of people that could tell his story when his mind wasn't all the way together to tell the story for him.
R. Kelly wrote a song
Yep.
that was perfect for
Yep.
Michael Jackson, and not only did he write the words, gave him exactly how to sing the shit. So
Yep.
he said the way he wrote it. He said he wrote it, but he said he didn't write it for his own voice. He said he wrote it trying to sing it like Michael Jackson. He's like, how would
Yeah.
Michael Jackson say this shit? Like,
Yep.
all right, you know what I mean? He wrote
Yep.
that shit, man. Like people don't realize R. Kelly played dumb as fuck because he know the court system is they're more lenient on niggas who act like they retarded. That motherfucker could read and write, man.
Yeah.
If
That's true.
Michael Jackson was a conceited, arrogant nigga, if you couldn't read and write, that nigga wasn't gonna try to make it out.
No.
You know, man, what the fuck is this shit? I can't read it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
Exactly.
bro, come back when you know how to write.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
And see, Michael Jackson, It's not that Michael Jackson couldn't write his own shit. Michael Jackson was just honest. He said, my mind is too distorted and it's too all over the place. I can't put what I want, my vision, to material. So later on, he enlisted people that he knew were geniuses, and he just said, look, this is my vision. I can't do it myself right now. I need you to take my vision and put it to work. And that's what they did. They put his vision to work.
It's not about doing everything yourself, man. It's about knowing how to do it in case you have to do it. But it's not about doing everything yourself. Prince would actually have way more albums if he would have trusted people to do shit. But Prince, he always wanted to do everything himself.
But can you blame him? He's a perfectionist.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
when you're a perfectionist at that level, you critique everything. You fucking critique everything.
That's why I feel like Kanye kind of the best of both worlds. Because he like that, and he actually evolved into that Michael Jackson type mindset of I'm only gonna write 4 songs.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna write my verses, but I need somebody to write all the hooks. I don't got it in me. I can't write all the hooks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or man, I don't feel like producing. I don't feel like actually making a beat. You make the beat. I'm gonna make it Kanye. He evolved to that because in the beginning he was doing everything himself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, he has that to say I can't do this shit myself if I want to. I showed you I can do it myself plenty of times. But now it's about because he got the shit to the science. Kanye could give us an album every year, man. That's top notch. Cause he got the shit down to the science, man.
Yep.
He got it down to the science. So how you gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? But this is the reason why can't nobody knock him. Everybody get paid. If you contribute anything to a Kanye West song, he give you a right. This is unheard of. Not if you write the whole song. If you contribute to the song, you get a writing credit. What contribute? If you say something that means 2 things, but you tell them, nah, don't use that. Use this. This nigga give you a writing credit for that. That's something very small.
Yeah.
But he give you a right and it's smart because no lawsuits.
Exactly.
Nigga, you can't come back and no lawsuit, nigga. You get paid, man. Get your lawyers. Your lawyers got to get the money for you, but you credit it.
Yep.
Get your lawyers to get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's smart.
But Michael Jackson, let me tell you something about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was so great that the album "This Is It" in 2009 would be considered on the same level of a lot of Magnus Opus albums, and that was his last fucking album. That would be considered a Magnus Opus. Let's not even go and touch the earlier fucking work, because everybody goes and they run to, Thriller, right? But let's be honest here. Off the Wall,
Thriller's not his best album.
Off the Wall,
Thriller made
before Thriller. Shit,
Thriller made Mike the nigga that people pass out at his concerts.
Yep,
that's what Thriller did. But Thriller was his best album. His best album was Off the Wall.
Yes,
because the beats was fire and the songs, like Thriller, Mike had made making a hit down to the science. He had perfected the fucking bridge and the chorus to it's so infectious that a lot of the shit he was saying is more so parabolic.
Exactly.
Like the actual verse in Thriller, all those verses, except for Thriller, like that's telling a story. But for most of those shits, like Dirty Diana, that's parabolic, bro.
Yeah, it was
parabolic. The reason why that was a hit because of the chorus.
Yep,
that's a parabolic. You gotta listen to that shit 30 times to be like, oh, this nigga talking about basically like the evils, like the industry, the devil. You know what I'm saying? How the shit, how he don't want to really fuck with her, but he gotta fuck with her. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. There you go. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to fuck with you. I know this is fucked up, but I'm in it now, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. And
he was deep. I'm glad you talked about. I'm glad you talked about it because Billie Jean was a parable of the music industry as well too. And a lot of people, that song went over a lot of people's heads. She's Out of My Life was a parable of him basically saying he lost his innocence.
Yeah.
Like he can no longer get that innocence back. That original Michael Jackson was gone. Because the person he had to become now, he's gone. And Bad just became, like a collection of this is who he is now, and this is who he has to accept. And all of the scars that come with it, man.
Yeah, man. Those are some writing motherfuckers, man. And that's the thing. When people don't realize this, when I say Michael Jackson performed better than Prince, it's slightly.
Yeah.
Because Prince a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He on that guitar, he don't gotta do a lot of dances because Prince could go on the guitar and he a rock and roll star.
Yep.
Prince is rock and roll, man.
Yep.
Michael Jackson is more dancing, whatever, bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But when I say Prince writing a song better than Michael Jackson, I'm talking about I'm splitting hairs.
Yeah.
I'm splitting hairs because it's not by that much.
Yeah. I'm glad you said it like that because that's exactly what it is.
So people don't realize
hairs.
Because people don't realize how big Prince was too. And you gotta be a bad nigga to be bad and big. While Michael Jackson was bad and big because Michael Jackson was bad and big all his life.
Exactly.
He had a whole life head start on you.
Yeah.
And now you neck and neck with this nigga. You a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jackson, he has an entourage that's already ready made since he was 8 years old.
Yep.
Everybody knows him. He's been a household name since he was a kid.
Yep.
So that's a head start. So for you to come up, and for y'all to even be going neck to neck like that, you gotta be a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be bad, man. And Prince was a bad motherfucker. Prince wrote some songs that was deep too.
Yep.
That was deep. But what made his shit hit so hard is because it's like with Kanye. When you make the actual music, you know how to fit the shit in the certain pockets perfectly.
Yeah.
Cause you know it's like a rapper, they had to like that's why Jay-Z listened to the music. He listened to it, then he's writing in his head. Then he go in there because he downloaded the music in his head of when to say shit, when not to say shit, blah, blah, blah. But most rappers, they just write their shit. And it's a difference, you know what I mean? But with you, somebody like Kanye, you had the benefit of you making a beat and knowing, okay, I made this beat. I know this is how this shit, the melody is supposed to be. You know what I mean? And I know the beat's gonna drop here. And you notice Kanye used to always had this shit to where you can never really out rap him on the beat that he made. Yep. You notice that? he made it that way. You could never dog him on the beat he made, and he knew when to rap. He'll drop the beat. He'll drop the beat. I'm in the pocket like Wallace. I got the bounce like hydraulics. I can't call it. And he dropped the beat so he could get off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's just how extra fire. Like, oh, this nigga's going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, the beat is regular. But when he come in, he always do something with the beat.
Yep.
And it's going with him. Like on that song, it's on Cruel Summer.
The only person that didn't work with is because he's just a wordsmith. It was Jay on Watch the Throne because Jay's just so good with the fucking mic. That's it. So Kanye could only match, even though Kanye switched it up on the lyrics. I mean, he switched it up on the beats. He could only match what Jay was doing because Jay was just so good with the fucking lyrics.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said he made it so that you couldn't kill him on his own beats.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah, he didn't get killed.
But everybody else though, he killed everybody else though.
Yeah.
Even with his own beat, he killed everybody else. There's songs that he done with Pusha T, and Pusha T to me, I think Pusha T is a better lyricist than him. But there's songs that he's killed Pusha T.
Not on his beats. Pusha T's a better lyricist than him on somebody else's beat.
Exactly.
Not on his beats.
That's what I'm saying.
Not on his beats.
Everybody else that Kanye's done music with, I mean, shit. We talked about Swagger Like Us, right? That song right there was Kanye West was in the shit. Jay was in the shit. The two most memorable verses was from Kanye and Jay on that shit. I mean, that's just crazy.
And niggas want to argue me all day. Niggas talking about T.I. T.I. did enough not to get washed.
He did enough to keep himself respectable. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when you listen,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He did enough so that we don't be like, oh, T.I.,
you something right now, Ross. You're gonna be like, oh, I didn't see it like that. T.I. actually was insecure on that song. Because if you go listen to him,
super insecure, because he was using mad big words for no reason and shit.
And not only that, he was basically talking about these niggas not killing him on his own shit. That's insecurity.
Yeah.
Why would you talk about Jay and Ye and Lil Weezy's verse? Why would you be talking about their verse when you should just be focusing on what you saying? He was insecure like a motherfucker, though. If you go back and listen to the shit,
yeah,
you know, when he's like Kanye on the Lil Weezy on the Jay on the dog. Why you focus on them, man? Focus on your verse. Wes wasn't focused on you. Lil Wayne wasn't focused on you. Jay wasn't focused on you. Why you focus on them?
No, they all came out. They all came out for the throat.
Yeah,
they all came out for the throat. And low key, and you could tell that song probably wasn't. They made that song better than what it would have been by putting Kanye first.
Yeah.
At that time, Kanye was really trying to. If you was on a song with Kanye, he was trying to body you on your shit.
Kanye was trying to make a name for himself at that time as a rapper. As a rapper, he was trying to make a name for himself.
Right. So when you put Kanye on your shit, you was basically asking for a competition.
When I heard Mr. West is in the building, I also, oh shit. Let me listen to the rest of this shit. This motherfucker's ready to
100,000 trillion.
Yes. He said, man, I'm a breathe. He said, breathe on it like an asthma. I'm an asthma attack it. I was like, what the? I like asthma attack. I was like, okay, this dude trying to rhyme. Dog.
I'm Christopher Columbus. Y'all just the pilgrims.
Yes. I was like, okay, all right. And then Jay was like, Jay was somewhere like, oh hell no, you ain't gonna no, Mr. West.
Yeah.
And Jay just got on the shit though. And then Jay made it seem like Swagger was something. He made Swagger feel like it was rare and unique.
It is. Most of them don't have Swagger. But think of Jay. People don't understand. Jay's verse was a diss to Jim Jones.
Yeah.
At that point, Jim Jones was wearing skinny jeans. He was wearing skinny jeans, like stretch pants and shit. And Jay Jones, he said, "I can't wear skinny jeans. My mouth is."
Lil Wayne's verse. If you want me to be honest with you, Lil Wayne's verse on Swagger Like Us wasn't all that. But you know what made Lil Wayne's verse all that? Lil Wayne did that shit with swag. Yeah, he did that shit with swag.
It was all swag.
It was all swag.
Another collab Kanye killed was the one with him, Drake, Wayne, and Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem, people don't realize how hard he would have that shit.
Yeah.
He said, I fucked the world and made it rain. Offspring.
Oh shit.
And you had Eminem did a lot of rhyming, but I'm telling you, man, I keep telling you this shit. Give me a memorable line, a couple that Eminem said. All you know, he was going crazy. Back to the flow. He was just going back to back. But what's the memorable shit?
Yeah,
that you can pull. You know what I'm saying?
What was the name of that song? I always call it the LeBron Forever. Song. What's the name of that song?
Forever.
Forever. There you go. I always call it the LeBron song because they feature LeBron on the shit. Yeah. But man, I'm gonna tell you right now. Kanye made Drake bring it because Drake brought it in on that shit. Though I ain't gonna lie. If you want, I didn't know Drake had those fucking bars, man. Drake, that shit, boy.
Well, he has to. That was his song.
Yeah,
that was his song. He had to. It was do or die. It was do or die. If he would have got 8, it would have been bad for him. He did good.
Yeah, he did real fucking good with the ankles, though. I was like, with the ankle breakers, man. I was like, okay, all right, Drake, I hear you. And then Kanye jumped into that shit, and it was over at that point. and then Lil Wayne jumped into it. I was like, okay, this song knocking, man. This shit is knocking. The song made me forget. I almost turned the damn. Ross knows this. If Ross will tell you the thing, I can't stand LeBron James. I almost turned the fucking song off when I saw LeBron on that shit. But the song was so good, it made me forget LeBron was there. That's how good that shit was.
Yeah.
That shit made me forget LeBron was there, man.
It wasn't until last year that I realized that song was for a LeBron documentary.
Exactly.
I didn't even know that shit. I thought
It
that
was.
they were just.
That's why.
I thought they were just shooting a video and LeBron was just playing basketball. I didn't even know that was for LeBron. I was so out of tune.
It was
LeBron.
from his St. Mary shit.
Yeah, I was so out of tune with LeBron. I didn't know he had a documentary until like this year, early this year. I watched it. I watched it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even know that shit existed.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, man. That's yeah, more than a game. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, that fucking song, man, shit. That song, boy, that shit was a banger for a minute. But you gotta understand why that song was so nasty though. See, every time artists go down to Miami and make music, they make classics, man. That song was made in the Fountain Blue, though. That's what that shit was made.
Trying to make it about.
Hey, that shit was made in the Fountain Blue, motherfucker. That shit was made in the Fountain Blue, man.
Yeah, man.
Them motherfuckers was feeling good. You know what I'm saying? They were partying. They had their little mood. They were good to go. But real talk, though, there's a studio down there where a lot of hits have been made. It's called the Hit Factory. I'm sure you heard of that. Heard of the name of that studio. A lot of people have gone down there, man. Even Kanye West has gone down there and made fucking music and shit like that. But that's where a lot of the big hits are made. Like, if you think of all of like the Rick Ross hits, you think of all of like the huge fucking hits that have ever been made musically. Shit, a lot of Trina's music. The Trina music was made in the fucking Hit Factory. I'm just telling you right now, man. A lot of artists, I don't know what it is about when they touch down that South Beach water, they start making music videos down there. It's over. Even Will Smith, shit. Will Smith had a Miami song, and that shit hit the billboards. How long did that shit hit the billboards for?
Man, Will Smith did he won like 11 times platinum out there.
Exactly.
Because I remember I liked this shit, and then I was hearing this shit for so long, I stopped liking it.
Yeah.
I used to be a big Will Smith fan. On my 8th grade graduation, I had an all-black suit, white skinny tie, and black shades. Men in black.
Because Will Smith had that timeless song, Summertime. Summertime is a timeless song. I can listen to that shit. If it's the summertime and I'm drinking, I'm chilling, we playing dominoes and shit like that. I could listen to that song all day, every day, man. It's a classic. And then he had that Miami song, boy. I'm going to Miami. Motherfuckers will pop that shit on all the time. Will Smith was an underrated rapper. I'll give him that. Underrated.
Yeah.
He actually had bars. He
you could tell by the way he wrote that he listened to a lot of Rakim.
Yeah.
He just ain't rapping about the things Rakim rapped about, but the way he rapped.
Yeah.
It allowed him because Rakim never cursed because of his vocabulary and how he put his words together. He didn't have to curse.
Yep.
You could tell Will Smith kind of he duplicated that to a lesser degree, to a more marketable degree, but to a lesser degree, because Rakim's metaphors are a lot stronger.
Yeah, and the thing is, the reason why is because Rakim just has more of that Africa Bambaataa embodiment of hip hop. When you think of Rakim, you think of KRS-One. That's what you think of the birth of fucking hip hop, man. When you think of these motherfuckers, Wu-Tang too. As a group, you think of Wu-Tang, you think of the birth of fucking hip hop. Method Man is a guy that is so heavily underrated. Him and Redman in terms of their bars, their ability to fucking rap. These motherfuckers can rap they fucking ass off, man. Raekwon, the chef, though. These motherfuckers could rap they fucking ass off, man.
Those face. No, but there's one guy who, to me,
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy to me that rap better than all of them line for line, but he
Mm-hmm.
just didn't have the personality.
And
Respect the
Wu-Tang?
deck. Respect the deck.
Inspector Deck, yeah. Yeah, everybody always talk about Inspector Deck. What?
He the one that said I bomb atomically, possibly they spotted me. He said
Mm-hmm.
he said possibly they spotted me. I he said he said perform armed robberies. Some shit about, man, that nigga, everything rhymed and everything was like they call it they call it patriometric.
Yeah,
Patriometric. So everything rhymed and everything was on a line.
yeah,
Then the next line was the same thing. Like,
yeah.
bro, that shit had to take forever to write, man.
Yep.
That shit,
And you know what I liked about the Wu-Tang Clan? They all of those motherfuckers had their that's why I was happy when I just got my Wu-Tang shirt the other day, man. All of those motherfuckers had their own albums or whatever. One guy that was really good album wise for Wu-Tang was Ghostface Killer. Ghostface Killer was nasty with the albums, man. He just had a swag about him and the way that he rhymed and shit like that. It was just swaggered up. Raekwon had that, that hood gritty gutter New York vibe, that everyday New Yorker, hardworking New Yorker. That was Raekwon. But Ghostface Killer was that smooth motherfucker. That motherfucker you walk around with that damn Kangol hat type shit.
Yeah. It's always a motherfucker coming out of nowhere talking about Method Man body bigger. It's always a motherfucker coming out the woodwork talking about some, like, man,
Method Man body Biggie.
Method Man is dope. Method
Man is nasty, but he ain't body no fucking Biggie. Ain't nobody body no damn Biggie.
Body Biggie, man.
Nah, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Everybody knows in street rap, Biggie used to take on any and every motherfucker. Biggie used to, Nas and Jay-Z told you, Biggie used to win those battles against them in the streets. So what you talking about, Method Man body Biggie, man? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Man, you know it's always that one person.
These niggas always want to come up with some bullshit.
Nah, it's always that one person that just want to be different. Like,
yeah.
To me, be different when it's true.
Yeah.
Right? Be different when it's true. Don't be different just to, you know what I mean? Just because you don't want to say Biggie was cold. Like, motherfuckers always, like, bro, Method Man did good, man. He did it good.
Yeah.
Bro. I kind of think people who think that Method Man body Biggie in that song, they didn't know what Biggie was saying.
Exactly.
We didn't get the metaphors. Because Method Man was just flowing. His metaphors wasn't hitting on shit in that verse. It was just all flow. Like Biggie
That's
was
it. That's all Method Man's known for. Method Man's known to be a flowologist. Yeah. Biggie has metaphors, man. Biggie's the original metaphor guy. Jay-Z's amplified the metaphors. But Biggie was the original metaphorical rapper, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Biggie used to have you fucking thinking, like, what the fuck? Biggie would go on a cipher. If you remember those days, man, this is how long you know what's his name been doing TV shows in red. That's what I was gonna make you laugh. Because remember you made the reference with Kanye West with Sway? Kanye West, while these motherfuckers are still doing radio and TV, Kanye West become a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Sway been doing music.
Kanye West and Charlemagne.
Sway been doing TV since then. And Sway had Biggie and Little C's on the show. Little C's tapped the fuck out. Biggie was just coming back. If you remember, Biggie had gotten into a car crash because Little C's crashed the fucking car, and Biggie was laid up in the fucking hospital, and then Biggie was recovering. This was months after Tupac had passed away. And then Biggie basically started rhyming and shit like that. And basically he took over the whole show, man. Biggie went like 30 minutes straight rhyming. Yeah. To the point to where Sway started saying, Biggie started saying, man, I'm being held back. Can I start cursing? And then Sway said, okay, well, shit. That was the first time he made an exception. He said, we on national TV, but I ain't gonna hold you back. Go ahead. And then Biggie started cursing, man. For 30 minutes. I think about it. For 30 minutes, bro.
This nigga saying Biggie got what? Biggie said, I used to get feels on the bitch. Now I throw shields on the dick to stop me from the HIV shit. The niggas know they soft like a Twinkie fella. play the villain. Prepare for this rap killer. Biggie Smalls is the illest. The style is played out like Arnold. Wonder what you talking about, Willis. The thriller's gone. The black Frank White is here to excite and throw dick to the dice. Bitchin' I like them brainless. Guns I like them stainless. I want to fucking force it like the wheel.
Bro, what the fuck is man, how did that get killed? How did that get killed? Or do you even understand metaphors?
Like, bro,
just say you don't understand metaphors. If you could tell me you don't understand metaphors, then that's fine. If you could just tell me that you don't understand it, that's fine. I'm sitting over here shaking my head like, damn, that's lethal.
Right. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, bro, what was he talking about?
And that's Biggie, and that's everyday Biggie. That's not Biggie on top of his shit. That's everyday Biggie giving you that shit.
I'm like, bro, like how did that get killed? Like
Biggie's the same Biggie that rhymed with Bone Thugs on Notorious Thugs, and he out Bone Thugs. How the fuck you do that shit? Armed and dangerous. Can't too many can bang with us. Don't get me started, man. That motherfucker boy. Whoosh.
And that's
hey, listen, man.
That's the thing.
You don't know who you're dealing with Biggie, dog.
That's the thing. When guys pass and shit, it's so many myths that come about. People basically say what they always feel, and then they say some shit like, "Well, they said this." Like this nigga saying Kobe said all type of shit he never said.
Exactly.
Kobe said before he passed, LeBron was the greatest. Kobe never said no shit like that.
He never said that shit.
Kobe never said LeBron was the greatest.
That's motherfuckers that are LeBron fans or secret loving LeBron fans that want to say that shit.
Kobe told one person they even had a chance to be the greatest.
Yep.
They did.
Yep.
He told Kevin Durant.
He signed his shoes. And on the shoes, the shit say "Be the greatest." That's well documented.
Be the greatest. He never told LeBron no goofy shit like that.
Yeah, and that's in the league with LeBron and Stephen Curry and all these motherfuckers. He gives that shit to KD because if you go and look at his interview with the Knuckleheads, right, and you go look at his interview with Showtime, All the Smoke, Kobe Bryant said, "I retired not figuring out how to stop Kevin Durant. He's the only motherfucker I figured out." That means Kobe Bryant's defense figured every other offensive player out. We know this to be true because Kobe locked up LeBron in the 2013 All-Star game. He was locking his ass up to the point where the referee had to call fouls.
Full court.
Yeah, full court.
Full court.
Blocking and ripping his ass up.
Got this shit twice. And
he ripped this shit up twice.
And he did the same shit to Dwayne Wade in the game.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade scored and talked shit to Kobe. Kobe picked his ass up.
But you know why Kobe did his ass up in the All-Star game? Because Dwayne Wade broke his fucking nose. And Kobe put that mask on and fucked his ass up in that All-Star game.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's that shit you was talking about. Remember when you said Dwayne Wade got that strong upper body? Yeah, he do. He broke Kobe's nose. And Kobe turned around and ramalang his fucking ass up in the All-Star game.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So I don't get that, man. That's a classic. You know why people say that? Because Method Man did the chorus.
Method Man did the chorus, and Method Man was established.
And the chorus was fire.
That song established Method Man. It certified him.
Right.
He was actually able to hang with Biggie on a song. When you hang with somebody, I don't mean that's just like Eminem. Eminem hanged with Jay-Z on their fucking track that they did together. He didn't murder Jay-Z like Nas have you believe that shit. He just hung with him.
He just hung with him.
Yeah.
He just hung. But that go to show you Jay-Z had got to the level of Floyd Mayweather when it came to bar for bar action. If you was in a song with Jay-Z and he didn't murder you, niggas would be like you killed Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Niggas hate on Jay-Z that bad. If he didn't murder you, if you did good, if you did good, motherfuckers be like you killed Jay.
Yeah.
Jay-Z ain't never been killed on no song, man.
Never. And I'm gonna tell you right now.
He done song with Biggie. He ain't get killed by Biggie.
Nah, he didn't get killed. That's the only motherfucker that ain't get killed by Biggie, and the only motherfucker to go bar to bar with Biggie. The only motherfucker to do that.
He ain't get killed by Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Nope. So no, man.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Jay's song Renegade with Eminem. This is how you know Jay how much he didn't really respect Eminem like that. Jay already had his verses laced up 6 months before M put his. So M had to match up to his shit.
No.
M had to match up to his shit.
And he ain't go back. Because
No,
Jay
and he
Z,
ain't double
he get
back.
the shit back. He could have went back and said, "Man, damn, this nigga went off. I'm finna change all this." He said, "No."
Yeah.
He said, "Leave the shit as it is."
Yep.
Because what people don't realize in that song, he's low key like dissing Eminem.
He is.
He's saying people. He's basically saying white people don't know what he go through.
Yeah.
Man, like you never lived this.
Yeah.
If you had to be me, you won't be able to put your clothes on.
That's why he said ashy knuckles.
Yeah,
That's a term that only me and you fucking know.
yeah.
A white motherfucker don't understand ashy knuckles.
He said, bet anything you worth, you'll lose your tie and your shirt. Jay Z said shit that niggas don't. He said shit that niggas don't understand, and still to this day, because Eminem shit was more flow than it was like metaphors.
Yeah.
Dude was able to understand his shit.
Eminem
But
was just saying catchy.
Jay Z
catchy
would give you
fucking
metaphors
punchlines.
saying these people from across the tracks that got a hold of hip hop don't really know it. They ain't really live this life. They don't know what this shit is about, man.
Nah.
This our shit. This ain't they shit.
Nah.
He was saying that shit on the verse with Eminem.
Yeah. And in Blueprint 3, what was the name of that song with Jay-Z? I forgot the title of that shit. Jay-Z dissed everybody. He talked about 50's reign. He talked about Eminem's reign. He talked about Nelly's reign. He talked about everybody. But he said, one thing is while all these motherfuckers were having their reign, I still remain, dog. I forgot the name of that damn song, man. He was killing all these motherfuckers' reigns, dog. He talked about their reigns and how dominant their reigns were, but he said one thing that remained consistent was me. I was like, damn, that's some cold shit to say that.
Yeah.
And I ain't never seen no M. I ain't never seen nobody come back and double back and come back at him, because it's true. Those guys had their lanes, they had their moments, but they didn't last as long as he did. This man had 13. At that point, he had 13 #1 albums, man. And then he basically said he left Beatles' ass, though.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm on Elvis's ass. I left the Beatles. He said, I'm getting on the Beatles' ass, and I left Elvis's ass. So I was like, damn, this motherfucker ain't playing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, man. There's nothing you can say about that.
And then 444 was when he passed the Beatles.
It's the truth.
I mean, that shit is crazy. 14 #1s, man. Gosh, I don't even want to think about this shit.
Right. There's nothing you can say about that. It's the truth, man. It's the truth that his reign was through all that, man. It's the truth. Like
that's a 20-year fucking reign, dog. Gosh, that's insane.
It's the truth, man. When he say that, you have to honor that.
And this is why I give Kanye West credit, because within Jay's reign, Kanye had a little reign. Kanye's reign, my reign for Kanye, even though Kanye has been great all throughout, that 04 to 2010, oh my gosh. Kanye couldn't do no wrong from 04 to 10, man. He couldn't do no wrong in my book. That reign, that zone that he was in those damn 6-7 years was unfucking precedented, man. He did in 6-7 years what a lot of artists can't do in 20 years, 25 years.
But Kanye's reign never stopped. Kanye got all #1 albums, except for all his albums that's solo is all #1s.
It's just you know why his reign looks so scattered? It's because of the breaks. It's the breaks.
It's not scattered.
It's the breaks.
Yeah.
He just took long breaks. If he didn't take as long breaks as he did, it would look so consistent. It would look so beautiful. It would be like poetry in motion.
It's not scattered to me. Kanye been dominating since his first album. Can you understand? Kanye changed music every time he drop it. So there's nothing no one can say about Kanye. Kanye has put himself in a predicament music-wise. He can do what he wants, man.
Yeah, that is true.
Kanye said, "Nigga, fuck rap. I'm about to make a gospel album." This nigga made a gospel, Grammy-worthy album.
Yeah.
Then nigga said, "Man, all right, I guess I'll rap again."
Yeah, I would like to see. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to see him because I told you I was just listening to that song today, and I was realizing how great that song was. I'd like to see him do more songs like Heartless, man. That shit was that Heartless song, boy. Gosh, that shit
Man,
was nasty, man. That shit was nasty.
if you want to hear that, man, listen to his old albums.
Here go this motherfucker. Listen to his old album.
That nigga not gonna do that regular people want because he know regular people aren't advanced. You go keep wanting some shit that's old, so you never gonna be able to see what's supposed to be the new shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I try to tell people that, like, man, I only like the three. Only like I like Kanye just college dropout, this graduation. I was like, bro, you missed what's important. That's all you listen to. That was the cookie cutter shit. Yeah. He had to put out. He had to put out because that's all y'all niggas could focus on. Yeah, man. The JEEN-YUHS album is the most important album. That's when he telling niggas how the game go. Like, this how the game go, man. When
your ass would never cease to tell motherfuckers about the JEEN-YUHS album, boy.
Yeah, because most niggas can't break down lyrics. They don't know what lyrics is. They don't know what Kanye. They don't know what he's saying when he said he said when a white man see you on top, he gonna come and get you like King Kong. Oh, yeah. They don't even know what that means because they don't understand the movie King Kong. They don't understand. They got that nigga from Africa, brought him here, put him in a cage, and then got mad because he wanted to be free. Yeah, that one line, it means so much. Now, when you compound that with a nigga like me that actually understand lyrics, I understand that as far as importance and an impact and shit that really matter, like generational wealth and having your own shit. And let's be honest, man, Kanye, he had some deep moments on those other albums, but they didn't. Those albums compared to 808s and JEEN-YUHS, they didn't push any real boundaries. That was all shit other people did before he just did it better. Talking about fucking bitches and having money and niggas can't fuck with me. Niggas been doing that. Kanye was just doing that at a high level. Yeah. But the 808s, niggas never been vulnerable like that on the whole album.
Yeah. Yeah, 808s and Heartbreaks. That album definitely stood out.
Motherfuckers was too tough to be vulnerable for a whole album and give you hits. Yeah. Because he had Heartless and he had Love Lockdown. He had a Heartless. These songs still going platinum to this day.
Yeah, Love Lockdown, man. And we know his greatest song ever is Stronger, man. That shit. I went on Vivo the other day to go look at the number on that shit. That shit is ridiculous, man. Yeah. That's his greatest single ever, man. Like, that shit is just.
I agree with that. I don't agree it's his better.
I ain't saying it's his best song ever. I just said his greatest single ever. That single has hit every culture. Yeah. There's not an ethnic culture on the planet that don't like Stronger, boy.
That's his best single. That's his best single. I believe that. Me personally, I feel like the accumulation of Jesus is what makes it great when you realize what he actually saying. And then when you realize
he's talking about his people in Jesus.
And then when you realize this is the genius thing that he did. What happened when they took us out of the cotton fields? They pushed us up north, the ones who left to industrial like plantation, basically. And guess what they call them? They call them plants, right? You working in a plant for little or nothing. You getting hung and shit by these white boys, and you going back to the projects. That's who they built the projects for, was Italians, and Italians passing on to black people and shit. And you basically in slavery all over again. But it's industrial. Yeah. He used industrial music for this album. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call industrial music. You know what I mean? So what it did was, and while I'm thinking about it because I'm critiquing it, and I'm like, damn, every one of these songs, except for the ones with the soul samples, you could use as like an alarm clock to wake you up because it ain't nothing you can sleep to. Every song when it come on, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Because you never heard that before, right? It's like you trying to sleep. You can't sleep through New Slaves, man. That shit gonna wake you up.
Yep.
Everything gonna wake because the type of music it cut through. So I said, man, this shit is it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
The whole album is a wake up call.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling you over and over again is his own little way in each song. Like, bro, these niggas trying to marginalize me. They trying to marginalize us. They doing this. They doing that. This how you do this. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't understand I'm the God. I didn't know he was versed in the Bible. When he said it's built off the scripture, ye are gods, but you would die like men. So then when you hear the song, he's very braggadocious. The song, I am a god, blah blah blah. Bitch do this, bitch do that, bitch do that. Then at the end, he's running for his life. He's breathing hard as shit. He's hyperventilating. You are a god, but you would die like men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you have to know these small little inner things to appreciate everything about the album. And once you finally get it, boom, click, you understand everything he's doing right now.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I can understand Donda right away. Because I understand people don't realize that to understand everything that happened, these last albums Kanye did, you have to understand Jesus. Straight up. To understand the Yeezy era Kanye, you gotta understand Jesus. To understand,
you mean the Ye Kanye? You mean
you gotta understand Jesus. If you don't, you won't understand Ye because that was
because I feel like Jesus was the beginning of that Ye individual, that Ye character.
It was basically Ye. Jesus is Vegeta's Super Saiyan.
Okay,
that's what Kanye was Super Saiyan. He never turned off because he realized, it's kind of like every real nigga had this moment in the military or in corporate America. And if you read, there's a book every black man should read. And the book is called The Invisible Man.
So what was your take? What was your take on his mixtape, Freshman Adjustment?
I thought it was good enough to be. I thought it was dope, but I'm glad he didn't make that an album. He just made that a mixtape because Graduation was so fire.
Yeah,
Graduation was so fire. Put it this way, it's kind of like in the era Heknows is talking about. If he would have just did that, he would have been a legend. But then to go from that to then just experimenting and just making this basically new genres of music. He just expanded himself. And he took himself from being just a hip hop legend to just a music icon, a music legend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
there's a lot of albums that we could talk about with Kanye. What about Late Orchestration? What was your take on that one?
Oh, that's just the Late Registration, but just with
it just had a few additives. He had a few additives to it.
It just live. Oh yeah, that shit was fire. It was a live performance, man. I was only thinking he did some crucial shit with that. He didn't release that shit in America. He released that shit in the UK first. I ordered that shit. My wife was talking crazy. I said, man, I paid the bills around this bitch. That shit cost like 35 bones.
Yeah.
35 euros, that's like $45.
Yeah.
I ordered that shit, man. She was talking crazy. I said, man, didn't I just buy you motherfucking Coach purse, like 2 of those?
Yeah.
Those shit's like $80, man. You want to talk shit, dude? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They always do that shit. Whenever you want to spend some money on your shit, they want to start adding shit up and subtracting shit. You know what I mean?
What about Ye? Ye was a short album compared to the other albums he did. It was short because he only had 7 fucking tracks on it. But
everything he made that year was short. That was the thing. That was the thing. I feel like Ye was a very I feel like he took a chance, man. And whenever you make an album, it's on your mental condition. Most people, that's a vulnerable thing, man.
Yeah.
And most people, they have mental. They're not trying to tell nobody. It's a vulnerable, and you can't even be mad at them because you don't know how people are going to perceive you. Put it this way, let me tell you, I have PTSD. I told somebody that I thought loved me. We're not together anymore, but I thought loved me. They told people that shit and tried to use it against me.
Mm-hmm.
So when you open up that way, you know how this shit gonna be used. And you're Kanye West, so you know they're gonna use it negatively.
Yeah.
But there's people who said that album and the Kid Cudi album saved their lives, man. There's people who
because he was in that album. He
yeah,
kind of delved into that Kid Cudi style completely.
it was Ye that Kid Cudi had a Kid Sees Ghost.
Yeah.
Album, and it was basically talking about mental health and like basically getting shit off your chest and shit like that. There's people that say those albums saved their life, like Lil Durk can't say he made an album that saved somebody's life. If anything, it's the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, if you make albums to save people's lives, then you basically won. That's a success in of itself.
You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Durk can't say that. King
But
Von
this is the thing that's tripping me out. You keep telling me that Donda 2 is not the real album, but that shit got 22 fucking tracks.
No, they're not finished.
Okay.
They're not finished. Like if you listen to them, there's parts where there's no lyrics. There's just he's just humming or whatever.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's still those tracks. It's not completed.
Well, it's not complete. So
okay.
Therefore when he dropped that shit, niggas still gotta get it.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of, he keep doing this shit because he know they're gonna leak his shit. They don't want him to be successful. So this nigga he got a finesse. He said, okay, y'all like to leak it still? Go ahead and steal these unfinished ass tracks for the next 3 months. Yep. And complain about it. Complain about the music you stealing. And then I'm gonna drop the real shit on the real supporters.
Yep. And I think he's testing out the stem player just to see, because Kanye knows his album is gonna sell regardless.
It's gonna sell regardless.
The stem player becomes a success. That's where the full production of the album is gonna come out. But if it doesn't and it backfires, he's gonna release that shit the normal way, and that shit's gonna do hellified numbers, because now you're gonna have these backload of people that are gonna be like, yeah, man, see, y'all motherfuckers bought the stem player. I'm ready to buy that shit for. And it's a fuck people's minds up, right? If something is $200 versus $20, what are you gonna buy? The 200 or the 20?
The stem player already a success.
Exactly.
He already made millions of dollars off it. He made more money off the stem player and this album on the stem player than most niggas make off their albums that go platinum.
Yeah.
So he's already made the money platinum. He already made the money off the stem player that he's made off Donda.
Yeah.
Already. Because Donda just went platinum 3 days ago. And he already put in 2.3 million cold hard cash in my hand.
Yeah.
And how that nigga Mike Epps used to say, put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I tell all my bitches, put it in my pocket. So he already did that. So it all depends. He did a win-win right now. He did a win-win right now. Because people don't realize when you own everything, you don't have to sell a million. You don't have to sell a million phones when you own it 100%. If this phone $150 and you only sell 50,000 of them, that's bread. Because you don't got to split that with nobody. It's just you. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you sell 50,000 albums, 50,000 albums on, let's say, Spotify and shit like that, you got to share that money with Def Jam. You got to share that shit with your manager. You got to share that shit with all the niggas who own the album.
It's different.
It's different. You got to break that bread up too many times.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the same. So he already won, but it's just it's not a win. It's not a win that most people aren't. Put it this way, it's a new metric.
Yep.
So put it this way, it's not white approved. That win is not Billboard. That win is not RIA. It's not SoundScan. It's a new metric. That's why he said when Billboard said, "Oh, we're not going to count these albums," Kanye said, "This is a win for me because this is what I wanted. I wanted an era to where y'all can't measure us and y'all can't count us, and we can tell y'all what our shit is worth."
Exactly.
He's thinking differently than most niggas.
Yep.
And most niggas, it's the gas, man. Like they try to hit Floyd Mayweather with.
Mm-hmm.
They try to put the carrot in front of him, dangle in front of him, like, man, don't you want to be undisputed? that every time it comes close to him to be undisputed, it's some shit that come up where he can't get undisputed. So Floyd said, "Fuck that shit. I'm fighting the best opponent for the best money. Fuck, I tried to be undisputed 3 times already, man.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas keep fucking with me.
I'm just gonna do my shit. Fuck y'all. I'm just gonna do my shit.
Right. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the gas that hits you with the legacy. Because right now, what they gonna start saying now? Kanye's at 11 number ones. Don't he want to break the records?
Yeah.
Don't he want to break the records? Like Kanye's like, man, fuck all that shit, man. I got a family. I got kids. I got 4 kids now. This all
Listen,
about
man,
all
number one albums in of itself take forever to make, and then number one albums on top of that. I mean, that's another. It's a pressure. Even as great of an artist that you are, even the genius that you are, to make a number one album, it's not easy. There's a lot of going back and forth. There's a lot of okay, let's scrap this. Let's perfect this. All of these albums you see that Kanye West got that are great albums, there's hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, he's had some of the greatest songs that they talk about. He's put 5,000, some of these songs he's put 5,000 of hours of work in a fucking song. In College Dropout, he put 2,750 hours of work just to perfect that song. So motherfuckers don't understand. There's a lot of intricate details to perfect your fucking song.
There's a difference between a number one album and a classic album.
Yeah.
2 different things, because there's a lot of number one albums. A lot of them. There's not a lot of classics. But I think
still getting a number one album is still hard in of itself, because you're dealing with a market of consumers that judge you based on your last thing, your last product. And if your last product was great, right? Now you have to come out and recreate. Kanye's made it look easy. Jay has made it look easy, but this shit is far from fucking easy.
Yeah. I think it's super hard, depending on 2 things: who you are and who you drop your albums with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because some niggas, you drop your album with them, you're not getting on number one, man. And even though Kanye make better music right now than Drake do, did they drop the same time? Drake gonna get the number one because they play his music on the radio more. They push songs that not even good for Drake and make them hits. Yeah. Right? Drake gonna get the number ones right now, no matter who he dropped with. But it won't be no classic album. Like nobody's calling CLB a classic. They calling Donda 2 a classic. Yeah. They're saying that 3 months in. I'm still on the edge. I don't know if Donda 2 is a classic right now, because it got to grow me. It's a very, very, very good album right now. I don't know if it's just classic just yet. Because to me, some albums are instantaneously, and some albums got to grow. But me knowing Kanye, it's probably going to be that. But I'm just honest with my assessment of the shit. But some people, they're going to get the number ones. Now, if Kanye drop with anybody else, or that's the thing, Jay-Z and Kanye don't never really drop around the same time. That would be a different story, because they could upset each other. But if Kanye drop with anybody else except for Drake, he gonna get number one. If Jay-Z drop with anybody else except for those guys, he gonna get a number one. It's just, because at this point, Jay-Z drop an album is gonna be number one. Yeah. He his name alone is gonna get that, unless it's somebody else who got cachet too. Yeah. If this is him and the rest of the other niggas, like
that would be, I'm not gonna lie, that would be a hellified competition. I think one of these days, both of them are gonna shock the world and say, you know what, we're gonna drop around the same time. I would love to see that, man. I would love to fucking see that, because you know why? You would have fan bases of contrast viewpoints, because fans that love Kanye West see things in a very multifaceted way. Jay-Z fans are very specific driven. There's a product that they like. This is what they like from the product, and they're very particular about that product. Kanye fans are very more open-minded. Like, they want to see Kanye come in and give you all of these different facets. They want to see Kanye give you 808s and heartbreaks. They want to see Kanye give My Beautiful Dark Fantasy. They want to see Kanye give Donda. They want to see Kanye give. This is what Kanye's created. He's
Yeah, man.
created legions of fans that want to see different nuances of his music.
It's all about evolution. You can't be the same person.
Yep.
You gotta grow. Got to, man. But everything you do, you can't. That'll be like your channel being the same exact way it was in 2019.
Nah.
You gotta grow, man.
You gotta grow. Because you grow as an individual.
Yeah.
And sometimes growth could be a repackaging of what you did well. Because sometimes you could repackage. It's like clothes, right? You see how sometimes they bring back the baggy pants, or sometimes they'll go to, like a more fitted clothing. These styles have always been around. They just every 20, 30 years they just shift, right?
Right.
And then they realize, okay, now it's time to bring this back.
Oh, that makes sense.
Sometimes that's how music is. Sometimes
That makes
music
sense. I'm talking more so
requires
the
a
person who
shift.
keep. Yeah, I'm talking more so the person who keep making the same album over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's a different. What you talking about? What you talking about? I'm on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jackson did that shit when he did what was it again? 25-year anniversary of Thriller. He just repackaged the shit that he did before.
Right.
And he added a few addendums to it because he knew at that time that's what people wanted to fucking hear. He was smart enough to know that. There was a supply and a demand for it, and he gave people that. I'm not saying that artists today will do something like that, but if it calls for it and Kanye West feels that that's something he wants to do at that moment, or Jay-Z, they will fucking do that shit in a heartbeat. If the supply and demand is there, they ain't stupid.
That's when you're supposed to do it. When you got that longevity and you've had an album like Thriller and it's a 25-year anniversary.
Yeah.
That makes sense to rehash and do that. But if you're in the prime of your career, to me, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Keep going with the flow.
If you're doing yourself a disservice by doing what you did last year because it was a hit.
Otherwise, you end up like T.I.
Yep.
Because T.I. just kept repackaging the last album and just putting a new name to it. It was the same style, same beat, same kind of rhymes and shit like that. He was just putting a different title to the shit, and it caught up to him.
Afraid to take chances, man.
Yep.
You're an artist. People be afraid to have that group of people to say, "I don't like this."
Yep.
Because they don't trust the process. The process is you got to trust the fact that when someone gets older, unless this is a horrible album, as people get older, things mean something different. Than they actually, or they might run into the life experiences that are make them better equipped to understand what you wrote.
Facts.
To understand what you were saying.
Facts.
A nigga like me didn't understand Tupac's albums while I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I understood Snoop's album, so to me, Snoop was better than Tupac when I was a little boy.
Yep.
Trying to understand what Tupac was talking about.
Yep.
As I started to get older, I started to say, "Oh, this guy is. These guys aren't the same at all. These guys ain't nowhere near close."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you had to grow into that, man. Tupac. When I started listening to rap on my own and not just by product of my uncles, Tupac was still rapping about Brenda's got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little kid. I don't have sex, nigga. I don't know shit about a little girl my age having a kid. You know what I mean? That song is over my head. That's for adults.
Yep.
But I could get into the simple beat that's fire and the hook of rolling down the street smoking endo sipping those gin and juice.
Yep.
Because it's made for a little kid to be able to repeat.
Exactly.
It's very simple and straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? So, well, yeah, you know what I mean? So I say that to say, like, people, they underestimate the evolution of the actual listener, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when you you have to give people something to grow with. That's the reason when I write like books, I put so
And
many
the
books.
times of the world's
Yeah,
change. Like for instance, we're in a pandemic, right?
right.
So writing music in a pandemic and the shit that you got to go through, just put yourself in the position of a celebrity. You're not bringing in the capital that you was bringing in when the world was normal, when people's jobs were more were more solidified, and people's ability to move around, just traveling was more free. People didn't have to fucking quarantine and do all this weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
So because you're going through that situation, it's a different situation. So your mindset in that moment is going to be different. So if your mind is going to be different in that moment, that the way that you express yourself artistically at that moment is going to be completely different than a normal time.
It should be. If you're a creative person, it
Mhm.
will be. But
Yeah.
if you're a person and you just do this for the money, you're gonna go back to tried and true because you don't. It's a creative person that says, "This is how I feel. This is
Yeah.
my vision, and this is gonna work." It's the person who's doing this shit solely just for capital and
Hmm.
not necessarily to push the genre forward. That's gonna be like these songs worked on the Billboard. Let me see if I can make some shit that's like this because that's what's hot right now.
Facts.
Because
Yeah.
that's the business. And then next you know, people are like, "Oh, you sound like such and such. Like you
Hmm.
lost this. You lost, yeah, because you chasing the hits, and you're not honing that craft, man. It's a reason why hate it or love it. Like a lot of podcasts are like, yo, I don't like Kanye. I don't like his music. I don't like his clothing. I don't like a lot of his clothes either. There's some shit I wear. There's some shit I won't wear. The shoes,
Hmm.
I like a lot of the shoes. I ain't gonna lie. Um,
Yeah.
but
The Yeezy shoes are on point.
that's fine. You don't have to like everything about everybody. But people don't.
Especially, I'm a sandals guy. Maybe it's the Haitian in me. I love sandals. His
Yeah,
Yeezy Crocs, them shits are. He got a tan Croc. Man, I want that shit so bad, boy.
yeah, man. Yeah,
That shit is nasty.
yeah, man. So I say that to say
Hmm.
you don't have to like everything about someone, but there should be reasons. Oh, it's just not my style. It shouldn't be. I don't like them. You don't know these people not to like them
Exactly.
personally. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when it comes, the reason why Kanye is always going to be around musically is because it was never a time you could put him in a box.
Nope.
This is the reason why people still clamoring for his shit. And that skill, let's take a Nas. That skill of Nas is a better rapper than Kanye was.
Hmm.
But people don't clamor for Nas shit because Nas don't take chances, man.
Hmm.
He's gonna give you that tried true clean shit. And either you like it or you don't. He's not
Hmm.
gonna take too many chances then. So that market is small. And
Hmm.
those people, they hinder him for doing new shit because they're gonna complain when he do something new. And every time they complain, he just goes back in the box and he just gives them what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Whereas Kanye West don't care if you complain. He gonna do something new. Something is gonna the next album he does is gonna be slightly different or vastly different from the last album. That's every time. Every time. So you have to get over it. That I missed the old shit. You got to get over that shit. When you dealing with Kanye, and when you dealing with Jay-Z, they're
And
gonna
that's
say,
because he's a different person. He's a different person at that time. So if he's a
right,
different person at that time, his ideology is gonna be different.
right. And that's the thing. A lot of people want people to be like them. You get up every day and you lie to yourself. But some niggas don't lie to themselves. They get up every day and this is how I feel today. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And this is how I feel. This is what I'm doing. So this is what I'm gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? This is what and you lie to yourself. You say shit that people want to hear.
Yeah.
You say shit. You talk around people's feelings. What they're gonna accept, right? You might have it might be a politician that you actually agree with.
If you want the old Kanye, buy the old Kanye album, man.
Yeah, yeah. I miss the Kanye that used to smile. What the fuck? What does that mean? He smiles now. You you miss the Kanye that was trying to that was trying to fit in with The Rock, so he was laughing at shit that wasn't funny and just trying to make sure he gets signed. That Kanye that was really frustrated, that only could show his true self to his mother, because that Kanye. Like, do you know that nigga was going through pain during that time he was doing all that smiling?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that wasn't smiling. That's what you call putting on a face.
Yeah, people don't realize that they really don't give a fuck about the artist. Like, a lot of fans, they really don't care about the artist. What do Kanye have to smile about today? Today, he had niggas get on him because he cares about his kids.
Yep.
I'm talking about, like, get ridiculed because he said, yeah, man, stop putting my kid on TikTok and makeup. I told you not to do that. And they're saying he's crazy. He's ranting. You know what I'm saying?
And when he's just having simple conversation, he's being a parent.
He's being a parent. So to say somebody needs to smile for you, like, bro, first of all, you're not with him all the time. The only time you see him is when he's filmed. You don't know what he's doing all day.
Secondly, that sounds weird as fuck for a grown ass man to be saying that another grown ass man need to smile for him. The fuck?
And then Kanye said, I mean, whenever you see him around company that he's cool with, he's always smiling.
Yeah.
When he's with Pusha T or when he's with his new bride, the nigga smiling like a fucking Cheshire cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Showing every teeth in his fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Like, he's smiling. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, man. The thing is, people need to realize people are human. They should be allowed. Every time a black man cries, it shouldn't say they broke down and they having mental issues.
Yep.
Humans cry. Humans laugh. Humans are happy. Humans smile. You know what I'm saying? Humans have blank faces sometimes. They're shocked or they're emotionalist. People should have the right to look however the fuck they looking, man.
Yep.
I have to have leadership say, hey, go to that guy, man. That guy looks like he's upset. I'm like, let him be upset, man. You know what I'm saying? If he comes to me, I'll talk to him, but they're like, no, we don't need guys being upset because it's gonna rub off on everybody. Like, man, people are human. I just got on his motherfucking ass. That's why he's looking like that.
Yep.
I had to cuss his ass out for making excuses. So he's gonna look like that. I would be surprised if he didn't look like that. If he looked normal, something ain't right with the motherfucker, man. You don't have no emotions. Yeah, he look like that, man. That's fine. He'll be all right. I'm not gonna be holding his hand. You know, you got a problem? Oh no, okay, cool. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't hold these people hand. They're grown-ups. Now, if they come to me with something, I'm all ears. Let's sit down, man. If your father passed or something, man, that's unfortunate. This and the third. But man, I'm not worried about niggas being upset. Being mad is a secondary emotion. That's not the real issue. Niggas normally when they mad, they hurt. They feelings hurt, man. That master is survival.
Yep.
That master is survival, man. You know what I mean? They niggas' feelings really be hurt. They be embarrassed.
Yep.
So shit like that. So now they mad. Like, I ain't worried about that nigga being mad.
Exactly.
Oh, he's talking about the lyrics of the song. Yeah, man, you gotta come in with that. You just said something out the blue. That's a statement. Now, if you don't say, I quote, these are the lyrics, or if you just start writing, that's a statement, man.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't do that on Facebook. They'll write lyrics to the song that say some shit like, yeah, I want to get fucked from the back, and then be like, oh, these just lyrics. Why y'all these lyrics to some obscure rapper nobody listens to? Like, that sound like that's what you said.
So what? You want him to start smiling again? I mean, his life has gone through transitions and shit. Maybe that's the way he expresses himself because of the fact that you cannot expect Kanye West through all of the ups and downs, peaks and valleys, trials and tribulations, ebbs and flows that he's gone through, for him to give you the original face that he gave you when he first came out. That's not gonna fucking happen, man. Not on no music. He's gonna give you whatever he's expressing and feeling at that moment.
It's just unnatural. It's unnatural to walk around. That's how they used to want us to during slavery.
Yeah,
I see what he's saying. He quoted. There's a Kanye got a song. I missed the old Kanye. He's quoting the lyrics to that song, but he just came in saying that shit. So it
yeah.
came off like you was just saying that because you didn't give nobody no warning. You just started talking.
But my thing is this, Ross, and this is my thing. Even if he meant what he said originally, right, and it wasn't off of the lyrics, still, Kanye West. The reason why, when I look at Kanye West now today, even when I see him expressing himself through music, there's a part of him that looks like he's in pain because a lot of the shit that he has to deal with and bear with, the weight of whatever drama he got to deal with on a day-to-day basis, man. A guy like that with his capital and him being a billionaire now and having what? Going through public divorce, going through, new situations, new nuances, having kids that he can and can't see. He wasn't experiencing that shit when College Dropout came out. This is a completely different individual. So what the fuck do you expect? You expect them to smile?
The fact of the matter is, this is crazy how everybody in the industry gets so that everybody become psychologists and shit when it comes to Kanye West, man. There's a lot of niggas in pain. Most niggas just go somewhere and hide. Kanye
Yeah,
West don't hide. He tell you like man, bitch, you hurting me doing this shit. He just be
yep,
honest. Majority of people are not honest about their feelings. You can look
yep,
somebody right in their eyes, they'll have tears in their eyes. You be like, you good? They be like, man. You be like, you all right? They be like, I'm good. And you
yep,
look at the motherfucker, man, you about to break down.
yep,
How the fuck is you good? That the number one lie in the world is I'm okay.
yep,
People be lying like a motherfucker. Niggas don't not be okay. The majority of people going through shit. Very few people are honest to say, you know what, I'm not having a good day. Most
facts.
people cannot say that.
They cannot.
They can't say that, man. So when you're the only person or one of very few people who can say that, you're
A
different. And if
different
you're
story.
different in the black community, you're wrong.
Yep,
Because in the black community, Kanye's not supposed to say anything public. He's supposed to be he, and I know that from experience because there's a lot of shit I should have made public um in my situations that I never did because I was raised that you suffer in silence. You go through, but some shit is supposed to be made public because the people you dealing with, some people, long as they can hide behind text or they can hide in the shadows, they'll continue. They'll continue doing dirty shit. They have to be aired out, and they have to have the perception of them ruined
facts.
to force them to do what they should be doing. There's people that are like that. They're two different people. In the public eye, they're one group of people. Behind closed doors, they're very dirty, very nasty. And the only way to get them to do what you need them to do, you gotta front them,
Yep,
and you gotta front them, and like expose like who they really are, how they really do shit. And then
yep,
they'll get upset, they'll freak out, blase, blase, and then they'll hate you for it, but they'll be forced
yep,
to 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 change the perception of how they look because they care more about their perception than being actually a good person. They'll be forced to do good shit to get their good perception back.
yep. It's just like AMS when he said put her in her place, setting boundaries with a woman during the dating phase. Oh, you got to set boundaries with motherfuckers, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting you said that because I'm going to touch in two different topics, but I'm coming back to your central point with, Power, the show Power. It's interesting how Tommy and Tariq didn't give Ghost his flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Ghost passed away, they both now are fulfilling his shoes. I saw the Tommy in the last episode is dressing like Ghost and saying Ghost had an impact on him. Tariq dressing like Ghost, and they're basically maneuvering the way Ghost maneuvered in a lot of ways. But at the time of him being around, they didn't give him his flowers to understand heavy is the head that wears the crown. Well, this is the same concept with Kanye. While he's around, these motherfuckers are not giving him his flowers. People gonna start. People when his ass ain't around, you gonna see all these cockroaches come out and be like, "Man, that was Kanye was a genius, man." You know, R.I.P. Kanye West. You know, Kanye West was this, he was that. You know, the motherfuckers will start coming out the woodworks saying that bullshit.
Our people always do that shit, man. It's the fakest shit in the world. That's why I
Yep.
got when Houston died, I ain't really say it because I had already said it. I think when Michael Jackson died, I said, man, all this shit is fake because when Michael Jackson was living, all y'all motherfuckers was doing was making fun of him, man, saying he was a pedophile,
Mm-hmm.
saying this, saying that, saying he wanted to be white. So all y'all just had shit was negative to say. Then he passed. And all of a sudden, everybody want to cry and everybody want to buy all his albums. All this shit is fake, man.
Yep.
In our community, they always do that. If it's a great man, he can't never be accepted until he die. Don't y'all know that right control over our minds? That we can't show a nigga love while he alive. He gotta die, man.
Yep.
For you to say he great. That's why people don't realize in the documentary when Reinfeldt says that, Reinfeldt he's bogus for saying it. He don't know he the one that's controlling Kanye. When he said who are you to call yourself a genius? That's a control on him.
Yep.
You can call yourself whatever the fuck you want to. He never stopped no rap song and told a nigga, and who are you to call yourself a nigga?
Facts.
That's for everybody else to call you, not for you to call you. That's acceptable. He ain't never stopped no rap song to say, who are you to say you're a pimp?
Yep.
Who are you to say you're a G?
Facts.
That was cool. But he felt intimidated by a nigga with that much confidence. That's what people miss. And he tried to impede on that confidence.
Yep.
And this is this nigga's friend. Your closest people around you, they don't even know how much they are controlled mentally and how much they're drag on someone who creatively free.
Facts.
People who are not creative, there's some shit I can't even talk to about certain people, man. I can't have a conversation because I know they've been formulated to think a certain way. I know
Exactly.
when I talk to somebody, most college educated people, I know they've been formulated when they went off to that college not to understand the plight of poor people.
Yep.
Because they've been taught when they went off to that white man college that anybody that's poor, they deserve to be poor, man, and they just lazy.
Facts.
Because they don't understand the world. They don't understand even if all them niggas wanted to work, there's no jobs for them.
Facts.
Because the jobs in fucking China, man.
Yep.
They all over the world. And we import all this shit. So they ain't no jobs for these niggas, no way.
Facts.
But they don't understand the world, so they believe that shit they told.
Yep.
In college, they can't relate. Cause that's why they take them over there. I remember when I was a little nigga, there was a school that was right down the street. My brothers went, they bused me all the way to a school in a white neighborhood.
Damn.
Cause they didn't want my mindset the way I think around other black niggas. They took me out of the hood. That's what they try to do. They want to separate certain minds.
Yeah.
They don't want those minds around other black people because it's infectious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's infectious.
You right.
And that's just a Kanye. They had to make Kanye look a certain way because they make it seem like what he's saying is normal. You're gonna start listening. If you start listening and applying some of this shit, you're gonna start creating generational wealth. You're gonna start raising your son not to be a worker, but to be a leader.
Yep. That's
And
true.
if he has to work somebody else's job, he's always working with the mindset of I'm gonna be my own boss one day. I gotta do this right now. I'm gonna save this money, then I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna do that. He's not working, giving his whole life to somebody else, making him a fucking billionaire.
Exactly. You're right. And I'm glad you said that because the thing that people gotta understand when it comes to Kanye West is Kanye West's profile in terms of him as an individual He's just an enigma, man. Kobe was an enigma. Um, Tupac was an enigma. Floyd is an enigma.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to a certain extent, I will say it, but I would say more obvious enigma. But Earl Spence is an obvious enigma. It's like what he does is plain and it's obvious, but to the fan base, he's like an enigma
Yeah.
because they still can't figure him out, even though everything that he's doing is in your face. So
Sometimes,
all of these
sometimes
guys,
you could be so truthful with something in your face that people think, oh, this it can't just be this. It got to be something else.
exactly.
It got to be something else. You know how many times I get argument with bitches? I'm telling them the truth, and they looking at the shit, and it was making me upset. I'm like, man, just listen to me. I'm telling you what this is. But
Yeah,
it's so much realness and honesty that they're like, oh, this nigga got to be lying.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that should make you an enigma. You too, because
But
you just pure honest.
that's the reality of it, man, and that's what people don't understand, and people don't get that. So and that's the beauty of it. Your honesty a lot of times can scare the shit out of people. Your
Mm-hmm.
realness a lot of times can make people think for a second and make people think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times because of the fact that you tell people stuff in a nonchalant fashion and then people don't take it serious, right? Most people don't take shit serious when you tell them it nonchalant.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they see you take the action, they're like, oh shit, this motherfucker actually took the action on what he said he was gonna do.
Right.
Everybody gets everybody gets overlooked when they do something nonchalant. It's when they do the action right after them doing it nonchalant. That's when everybody's like, "Oh fuck."
And I think that's the reason why I piss so many people off. I say so much shit because it's normal to me, but it's
Mm-hmm.
powerful to them. And then, but I say it in a nonchalant way. And then I do the shit, and then niggas like, hold up, what the fuck? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I thought you were just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought you was just talking. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many people I told, like, niggas I was cool. I was like, yeah, when I was little, I used to be in the young artists. I used to write books. Niggas like, man, your ass ain't writing no books about it. And I never argued with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then now they be like, man, I heard you wrote a book, man. So you was telling the truth back in the day when we was little niggas. When we was like 30, I was like, yeah. They're like, oh shit, I never believed you, man. They're like, why you ain't saying that? I was like, because man, I
Because
didn't care enough.
people don't believe shit until they can actually see that there's tangibility behind it. That's how human beings are, man.
But my thing is, I had no reason to lie to them. Who the fuck is you, nigga? You a nobody. That's number
Exactly.
one. And number two, they was like, if you knew you was telling the truth, why you ain't come back? I was like, because I didn't care enough. I said I ain't care enough to prove anything to you, man.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But I ain't messing like you about to get like you getting tired, bro.
I am getting a little tired, but I'm
Yeah,
just stretching. You know what I'm saying? Not not
yeah,
not like the conversation is over with. Just
yeah,
stretching, man.
yeah,
But
man.
but yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is I'm glad we touched this topic because this topic was very important to
Mm-hmm.
touch because kind of segueing it into Jay-Z and Kanye West's dynamics because we had our way of seeing things differently earlier with that, but um I just think their dynamic is the dynamic of brothers, two brothers that
Let me get 1 second, but keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
mhm,
Let me get
two
1 second.
brothers that see things in a different fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're dealing with brothers, when you're dealing with brothers, when you're dealing with brothers, they have an ideology, they have a mindset to where one brother has a vision, another brother has a vision in of himself, and their vision, although they may do things in a very similar fashion, because they are two different individuals and two different personalities, they're gonna see things completely differently. Jay-Z, I've always said his genius is in the fact of simplicity. Jay's not trying to be difficult, man. He's trying to make it very obvious what he is doing when he does his supply and demand in terms of how he brings his product out. He knows very well his consumers, he knows his audience, he knows what they expect, but he also wants to enlighten them and get them to modernize with the times of how he sees things at that moment. So he's always been able to be successful at keeping those people continuously coming back, but also growing up with him and growing up with the times. And because he created an iconic status in of the whole aura of who he is, which is like that mafioso, wordsmith, virtuoso, savant rapper, that's the pristine order that he's kept, and people follow that continuously behind him. Kanye, on the other hand, has created this aura where I'm going to scrap everything that I did the last time and then just do something else completely different the next time around. I'm going to go by the way that I feel in that moment. And the way that I feel in that moment may completely cut against the grain of how you envision me as you envision me as college dropout Kanye. You envision me as late registration Kanye. You envision me as graduation Kanye. I'm not that Kanye West no more. I am the Kanye West of today. And the Kanye West of today is I have 4 children. I'm divorced. I'm a billionaire. So I'm going to make music based on these realities. Most people can't understand those realities, but what most people can understand is pain. So it was ingenious to call the album Donda, because how can you not relate to your mother? How many people have had their mother pass away? You don't need to be rich to have your mother pass away. You don't need to be poor to have your mother pass away. That's a natural attrition of life. That's going to happen. People are going to pass away. People are going to die. This is evident. This is factual. These are things that happen, and people know these things continuously happen on a regular. So this is where their contrast comes into play. But they're similar in the sense that they both understand their consumer, they understand their audience, and they understand what they want and how to get them to see things their way. You have to be a genius to be able to pull that off, because there are a lot of artists that are great artists. They want people to elevate to the state that they're in at that moment. If they try to go outside of the box of what people like them to be, they're not going to sell records. One, because it's a fear factor. Two, because they just are comfortable in their own skin and comfortable in how they move and comfortable in their own individuality and comfortable in the fact that they're just comfortable, because that's what comfort does. Comfort creates a environment of, this is what I know. Familiarity breeds complacency, and this is what I'm going to roll with, and they're not going to move forward. And that's when you were talking about Nas. But as brothers, because they are visionaries and they see things in a different fashion, and they both have a mindset where their mindsets are strategically different, then guess what? From a strategic standpoint, that's where they even clash. And that's why Watch the Throne 2 has taken as long as it's fucking taken. Because you got two guys whose schedules at this point is ridiculously busy on both sides of the aisle. They have to actually have their people reach out to their people to reach out to their people to reach out to their people just to get the two of these motherfuckers in the room so that Watch the Throne can happen. There was a time that was not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point, Kanye West was a Rock Nation artist. Now he has his own shit, good music. And Jay's Rock Nation. So these guys have to go through so many windows of people just to get shit done. Do you know that the City of God's song that Kanye had Alicia Keys bless it? He wanted Jay to be on that fucking song. But Kanye was too impatient, and Kanye was like, you know what? Alicia Keys blessed this shit up so well. Fuck it, I'm pushing the bitch out. This is how busy these two guys are now. So you could imagine on one track something like that happening like that. Now trying to sit these two motherfuckers down with their levels of schedules and getting people to get them to listen to and getting them to record Watch the Throne 2. It's gonna be a very long time before we get that Watch the Throne 2. That shit ain't coming out anytime soon.
Yeah. If we get it at all.
I believe we're gonna get it. I just don't think we're gonna get it anytime soon. Because you know when I think we're gonna get it, we're gonna get it right at the time where the both of them, because it's a market thing, it's a strategy thing, right at the time when the both of them say, "Look, man, we both patched up our strained relationship. We're bros again, and you know we good." It's a marketability thing to do that. You remember, you gotta in business, you gotta show that everything is kumbaya, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, yeah, they're on talking terms, but they're not completely kumbaya. So when Watch the Throne 2 happen, it's gonna be on that kumbaya shit. When people go like, "Oh shit, look at Jay, yay, man, they back together, man. They chilling." You're gonna see the both of them laughing, they're gonna be coming out hugging each other and shit. They're gonna be on Jay Leno, they're gonna be all this shit, man, right? Coming on all these damn radio stations together. That's when it's gonna be the opportune time to do it. But right now, it's not the opportune time to do it. Don't make sense to do it right now. Not with Donda 2 and not with Jay-Z doing whatever the fuck he's doing right now, because he ain't doing music. It's just not opportune right now.
Jay-Z's doing the NFL shit.
Yeah. He's trying to get in the fucking halftime show.
He has control of the halftime show.
Yeah.
He's the reason why Dr. Dre and them was able to get in there.
Yep.
And they tried him. They tried him right away. And he was like, "Man, if y'all don't let this shit go through, I quit."
Yep.
And they was like, "All right, well, fuck it. Go ahead."
So I'm assuming the next Super Bowl, he's gonna be the one performing, right?
I don't know. It's whoever he chooses to perform, because that's what they hired him for. It's whoever he chooses.
You know what would be interesting is in the next one, I could see Jay doing that. Him and Ye performing. That would be intergalactic. The next halftime show would have been the both of them performing. That would be intergalactic, man. That would be, you want to talk about from a marketability standpoint, that would shoot the NFL up so big. I would tell you right now, their ratings that night would probably be the greatest ratings ever.
Oh, what?
To know that there's a halftime show of Jay-Z and Kanye West.
For the simple fact, it would be people who don't even watch football who would be watching that shit just for the halftime show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't even need to do no new music and nothing. You know what they just need to do? They just need to do music from Watch the Throne. That's it. Because the Super Bowl is satire shit. They could just do Watch the Throne music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just motherfuckers just want to see the both of them together, and they come back together doing that. And what song is better to start off than Niggas in Paris? Everybody know all the fucking lyrics to the shit. The beat is clanging.
Yeah.
That's a perfect Super Bowl fucking halftime show song. That's a perfect song to keep the crowd hyped, keep them amped, keep them in their fucking seats. Ball so hard. Come on, man. It's perfect. Isn't it football? Ball so hard.
But it's the NFL be uptight. They probably be uptight about. Fucking them niggas saying.
You be watching motherfuckers in the sand saying Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6.
Right. They probably be uptight about them niggas saying niggas so much.
And you be having little kids saying Mary Kate and Ashley. It's a perfect song, man. It's a perfect halftime song. Perfect halftime song. I mean, they'll PG-13 it. They'll make sure they don't curse, but it's the perfect song.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand how the level of watching that would be? That would be insane. And then you could also have your wife come in and do some of her shit, some of her biggest hits. That would be perfect.
Yeah,
you just need 3 artists. They don't need to do no 10, 20, just the 3 of them. That's it.
if they had to add a third person, I don't want it to be Beyonce though.
You don't want to
Beyonce
be
been on
Beyonce?
she been on that shit so many times already.
Okay, then guess who the third person you gonna add? Guess who the third person you gonna add? I'm gonna tell you who the third person you gonna add, and you'll agree with this.
It's one or two people.
Because they can add this song, and that song would be a great song for the Super Bowl show. Put Rihanna on that bitch. Run this
Yep,
town.
yep. One or two people, either Rihanna or Alicia Keys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And do the run this town. Run this town, man. That shit will
yeah,
go hard.
yep.
That shit will go hard on some damn Super Bowl, man.
That should go hard. That should go hard, man.
Any last thoughts, man?
Nah, man. This was a hell of a conversation, man. Chopping up, man. Give you guys good grown man talk. You know what I'm saying? Definitely stay tuned because more of these are in the works. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got.
That's it, man. Listen, man. Tom Ross, appreciate you, man. As always, this kind of conversation here is not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted. And this is the thing with new normal. New normal becomes normal. That's what people got to understand. That's why they call it new normal, because eventually it becomes normal.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a time we're going to sit back, look at this shit, and we're going to be like, man, the greatness that we've been exuding here, now look at how many people are listening to this actual greatness. This is how the lives were when I started doing lives. This is how the lives were when Ross started doing lives. It was looking like this. This is how you know when we're comfortable in the shit that we do and we don't give a fuck. It looked like this, and then eventually, oh shit, okay, you showed up. Okay, you showed up. Okay, you here now. That's how this shit is.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually this shit is gonna take off. And you're gonna have motherfuckers that's gonna be in the comment section saying, I'm the first one here, I'm stamped first, this date, this time, etc., etc.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you guys something. The reason why we've veered off into this form of conversation and why we're passionate about this is because this is real life here, man. This is not the bullshit of putting you in a microcosm of boxing or putting you in a microcosm of basketball. That's shit to make your mind go stupid. That's shit to make your mind go stupefied for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is life right here. Talking about people's relationships, talking about people marriages, talking about people's finances, people's circumstances. This is what you motherfuckers need to be listening to. Shit like this. This is what's going to impact your brains. This is what's going to elevate your psyche. So get used to this, because this new normal is going to be the fucking normal.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see y'all motherfuckers later on this week. Ross, you keep killing it over there with TomRossTVRaw and Tom Ross TV. And me, I'm gonna short you motherfuckers to death. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna short you motherfuckers to death because I see that you motherfuckers are eating up the shorts. And guess what? I'm gonna keep putting those shorts down into your belly. You're gonna shit these motherfuckers out, and then I'm gonna throw it right back into your belly again to shit that motherfucker out again.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all take care. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a great Monday. We're gonna see you guys at the end of the week, man. Peace.
Peace, bro.